Stay on the Sports Tip. Wildcats Radio 1290.
And a great Friday afternoon to you. The weekend is upon us. Carter Bryant played his first game in Las Vegas on Thursday, and boy, did he show himself to the country.
You see Bryant, how hard he just worked to deny Edwards the basketball coming off that down screen, and then doesn't miss a beat with the switch on the Mintz and pressures him.
And got the block, Tim.
And finishes it with his head on the rim and a block.
Boy, that's a clip and save for the defensive reel, no doubt. Carter Bryant putting on a clinic defensively in that last possession. Wow. He blew up that half-court set.
Three things on one possession, and this is how he finishes it off. Look how high he is. His head is literally level with the rim when he comes in here for this block. But prior to that, he blew up a down screen by denying Edwards, and then he pressured the ball into the backcourt to speed the Sixers up more than they wanted it.
And there's another block by Bryant. He's got 3 tonight. Make it 4. 5, no, but a foul underneath.
I mean, that is eye-opening athleticism that he's showing you right now.
He's got his own personal no-fly zone in there, Tim.
Carter Bryant, ladies and gentlemen. I mean, now we knew he could play some defense, but I don't know if we saw anything quite like that. I can't remember any instances quite like that during his one season here at the University of Arizona. But man, if I mean, they've already got a dominant defensive big man. Bring him in now to the program, and you got, if he plays like that, now of course the energy of, you know, being in Vegas and you know, big crowd maybe for the first time, a lot of eyes watching, a lot more energy. But if Carter Bryant can play like that consistently at the defensive end of the floor, look out for the Spurs. They might be playoff worthy here in 2025-26.
That, by the way, was unedited. So those 3 blocks, 2 steals, and 2 blowing up of pick and rolls all happened all in real time. That was unedited. I will say this. There's a meme that's been around for 3 or 4 years now, 5 years, which is understanding the assignment. And I think Carter Bryant really gets what needs to get him on the court, which is staying in front of guys, Dragon Ball, making sure that he gets out on shooters with his length and his 7-foot wingspan and athleticism. But more than anything, you know, dominating defensively, knocking down open shots. He's going to get in that Spurs rotation simply through his effort on defense and hitting open looks. He'll get in that rotation right away if he just does those things.
Sometimes your shoes don't show up with you on the plane. Sometimes your jump shot leaves you when you reach a certain elevation. But the one thing that travels is defense. Carter Bryant showed that his defense travels. It's not just at the half-court game. It's not just in full court. It is man-to-man, half-court, full-court zone, whatever it happens to be. He showed out on that side of the ball. And a lot of people are going to get hung up on, well, he only made 1 shot from the field. Right. Doesn't matter. He's not there to score points. If he gets it, that's a luxury. And for the Spurs, the way they play basketball games, that is a luxury. Offense is a luxury because they know the main thing is if they don't score, we win, to quote the great Bobby Bowden. If they don't score, we win. That's the bottom line. And the Spurs, they've got a guy there that can help them with that goal of keeping the other guy's best perimeter player from getting to their spot.
Yeah, I mean, they've got 3 on-ball dynamos who can really get to the rim, can really score, and are great facilitators. You're talking about last year's Rookie of the Year in Stephen Castle, obviously with Harper that they drafted this year, and De'Aaron Fox that they brought over from Sacramento. Yeah. All 3 of those guys. Wembanyama is maybe the most gravity dude in the NBA these days. So Carter Bryant, as you just said, just look at the formula the Oklahoma City Thunder had. If you've got 2 or 3 guys, and a guy in the post especially who can command attention, then all you need to do from those other 2-3 players on the court is knock down open looks and play solid defense. So again, Carter Bryant has that formula, understands the assignment, understands what he needs to do, and he's showing, DK, in these early Summer League games that he gets what the coaching staff wants from him. Defense, defense, defense. They don't need him to score. They got scoring on that team. They right now just need him to understand what it takes to stay in front of an NBA-level player.
Dylan Harper did not play in that game last night. The number 1 pick, top first-round pick for the San Antonio Spurs, and number 2 overall selection, but they didn't need him. They got 24 points for David Jones-Garcia. Again, you mentioned Carter didn't necessarily shoot the ball well, just 1 of 6 from the floor, 1 of 4 from 3, 5 points, 5 rebounds, 2 assists, had a steal, the 3 block shots that all came in succession. So stuffing the stat sheet, which is what you like to see from that young man as he tries to make a name for himself in this summer circuit and put himself in a prime position to potentially, again, who knows what the regular season is going to bring, if he'll see time in San Antonio, if he'll have to play a lot down in Austin, which is where their G League team is located. But great to see Carter Bryant opening some eyes for those people that paid $3,000 to sit courtside, or no, actually, was that at the main? Was that at the?
Well,
Thomas
this was the
and
game
Mack,
right after that game, so one would assume they didn't empty the building. So
No.
yeah,
So those
same people courtside.
So there you go. You pay $3,000, you get 2 games, right? Yeah, nothing wrong with that.
Maybe more than that.
One last thing about Carter's aggressiveness defensively. We talked about this last week. Wembanyama cleans up a lot of messes, right? And so when you've got a guy behind you like that, with the longest wingspan in NBA history and very willing to come off his man and block shots, Carter can show a little bit more aggressiveness on ball defense because you can filter somebody to Wemby and he'll take care of it. So I think, again, he's just interviewing for a spot in that rotation. I would assume, DK, he'll probably spend half his time in the G League, half his time with the major club, but there's no doubt that he's in their future plans.
The Heat are actually playing right now in their first game in Las Vegas against the Atlanta Hawks.
Pella is currently at the line and just made his free throw.
How about that? 80-70 is the score there. Currently, the Heat leading by 10 points in that ball game. You mentioned Pella Larson being at the line. Keyshawn Johnson, 5 points in that game so far. Pella's got 16, 9 of 11 from the line. Umar Ballo has not played in that game. Has Umar played much at all in these preseason games?
He had 5 points in the last game that they had against Golden State, so he's getting a couple minutes off the bench.
One thing we didn't mention because we were deep into the Big 12 football media days, but the Heat did spend some time in one of the 2 prior summer leagues. They have 2 summer leagues that go on in Sacramento and Utah that are 4 teams, and then the major one that's in Vegas that started yesterday. Pella and Keyshawn were both first-team members. It was a 5-team, first-team, all-summer league team, and Pella hit the game-winning shot to give the Heat their first-ever summer league championship. That happened on Monday. So Pella and Keyshawn are certainly the 2 main guys that make this Heat summer league team go. I think Umar has just getting spot minutes. They just got Ware last year, right, in the draft. But definitely a guy that you can look for how many, we talked about this, how many big dudes, Dragon Ball, have there been in the modern NBA? The Shaq era is long gone 20 years ago. You don't need 3 7-footers that are 300 pounds on your rosters anymore. But with Joker and, some of the others, what's his name from Houston, Sengun, some of those guys, you really need a big body. So Umar does have a place. Again, just needs to focus on defense more than anything.
Yeah, defense, and more importantly, being able to position himself in a way that he doesn't get himself in foul trouble. The one thing that is absolutely not necessary to get winning games in the NBA is if you get yourself in foul trouble early because the backups are the ones picking up the foul. So Umar needs to work on his positioning, work on his defense, and if he can do all that, he can definitely go ahead and spell a guy like Bam Adebayo, who has spent a lot of time in the NBA on the court because they really haven't had a go-to backup center for a long period of his career there. So it'll be interesting to see how Umar fits in. But definitely something to watch for is Pella Larson to see if he gets a bit more run with the main squad after Eric Spoelstra had a lot of really good things to say about Pella considering his play last season.
Yeah, at the end of the season, he was very impressed with some of the things that Pella was doing out there. Especially he got a chance they had some injuries down the stretch, and he got a chance to get some extra minutes towards the tail end of the season. So
yeah, he averaged about 14, 15 in the playoffs.
There you go. If you can
minutes,
get that, if you can go ahead and get that much run with a team that has had a lot of deep playoff runs, especially in a situation where they were moving on from a star in Jimmy this past season. I mean, there's only opportunity laying in front of Pella Larson and Keyshawn because Keyshawn could definitely be a guy that does a little bit of that in between position in the NBA.
And Duncan Robinson's been a fixture at that forward position in Miami for some time. They moved on. He's no longer there. So there is an opening for Pella to get a little bit more minutes in that main rotation for sure.
Interesting news today coming out of BYU. Jake Retzlaff has officially announced that he is withdrawing from the school, the quarterback who helped to beat the Wildcats last year in the first meeting between the two schools in the Big 12 Conference. Retzlaff has been accused of sexual assault, which kind of parlays into the no sex rule that they have for undergraduates at BYU, and he's admitted that obviously that he did break that code, but says that the incident was consensual. He will leave BYU. Again, good quarterback. Do you think people take a chance on that kid?
I think that you almost kind of have to. I mean, there's not enough talent in college football for you to be a contender, and there not being a chance for you to go ahead and want to take a waiver on the kid. Now, again, there's going to be that discussion about, what exactly he did and what exactly was the behind the doors discussions.
Sure.
But at the same time, there's just not enough talent in college football for you to not want to go ahead and take an opportunity.
To be as delicate as I can on this subject, there's one school in America that doesn't allow co-ed relations and 347 that do. Mm-hmm. So, yes, DK, I think there's probably a spot for him out there.
Oh, yeah.
Well, we'll see where he potentially may land and have a chance to continue his football career. 520-848-1290, 520-848-1290 if you want to weigh in on that subject. If you watched Carter Bryant's performance last night and you have some thoughts on what you saw, break it down for us at 520-848-1290. We'd love to hear from you on that. Busy show today. We're going to talk a lot of NBA basketball. Dustin DePirac is going to join us from the Indianapolis Star later in this hour. We'll get his thoughts on everything that happened with the Pacers this season and the play of Arizona Wildcat alums, Wildcats for life, TJ McConnell and Benedict Mathurin. Also, Dwayne Rankin is in Las Vegas covering the Suns. We'll check up with Dwayne on the extension that was signed earlier this week by Devin Booker, as well as where the Suns are right now as a franchise coming off a season in which they did not make the playoffs. Paul Cagliari from FC Tucson forward will join us. Huge home match coming up Sunday night, 7 o'clock at Keno North Stadium. Win and in the postseason for FC Tucson. So we'll talk to Paul about that. Jordan Ham will also join us in the 5 o'clock hour from Sports 360 AZ. He was at Big 12 Media Days earlier this week, and we'll get his thoughts on what he heard and saw down there from both the Sun Devils and your Arizona Wildcats. Cricket joins us now early in the show because it is Friday, and it is...
Yes, sir.
The Weekend. Woo! J-Dub.
The enthusiasm. You gotta calm down,
I'm so
man.
excited. Cricket, what do we got going on this weekend?
You have to calm down, sir. Well, today is $5 Fridays
Today.
at Tucson Botanical Gardens. I think they close at 7, but also keep that in mind for next Friday.
Yes,
$5 Fridays,
okay.
Tucson Botanical Gardens, where you can check out the Great
We
Garden
love our
Express.
Tucson Botanical Gardens,
The
people.
best.
Yes.
Yeah, and you got to check out. I think it's through September. The model train is set up there.
Yes.
Super cool. If
Yes.
you have a dog, well-behaved, leashed dogs are welcome for Dog Days of Summer. Friday and Saturdays at Reed Park Zoo, summer safari nights at the zoo, and also for next week when the kids are bored, $3 ticket Tuesdays at the zoo and Watermelon Wednesdays at the zoo, where they feed the critters a bunch of watermelon. Ferris Bueller's Day Off will show at the Loft Cinema on Speedway tonight and tomorrow. You guys want to check that out?
Oh, I watched it a couple weeks ago. It was on A&E. But one of my favorite movies. So I would watch that again every single time.
Again and again and
Again
again.
and again and again.
And
yes.
their AC is ice cold at the Loft. Just saying. Tomorrow is Dog Days
So
of
bring a
Summer.
sweater.
Bring us because
Is
it's
it
gonna
colder
get
than
chilly.
here?
Probably around
Well,
the
you never have anything hard. Well, you do wear some
I do.
light sleeving.
Sometimes. In my room it gets
I have
pretty
to have a
cold.
winter coat when I'm here.
Always
cold.
bring a backup
Parka.
coat.
Exactly. Always have something. Dog Days of Summer tomorrow at Pima Animal Care Center. Extended hours, 10 a.m. till 7 p.m. Free pet adoptions. Pack is at Silverbell and Sweetwater. Can I give myself and my radio station across the hall a plug?
There you go.
I'll be broadcasting
Always.
from 10 a.m. until noon tomorrow to help out with those dog and
Which
cat adoptions.
107.5?
Yes, correct.
Yes, K-Hit.
Yeah, we'll be out there 10 to noon, and then from 1 to 5, there's going to be food trucks and games and activities, and hopefully we'll get a lot of pets adopted tomorrow at Dog Days of Summer at PAC.
All right. Check out that Great Garden Express, the train out at the Tucson Botanical Gardens. Cricket will be back with us a little bit later as well with more of what is happening here in Southern Arizona this weekend. Right now, she's getting you home every 20 minutes on the Fives with your traffic and your weather.
And from the Auto Nation Honda and BMW of Tucson Traffic Center, this is Wildcats Radio 1290 Traffic and Weather together. Earlier crash 22nd near Country Club, east of Country Club on 22nd. That big widening project continues on Grant Road, east of Country Club to east of Columbus. Starting on Monday, Columbus Boulevard is going to close south of Grant Road associated with that widening project. 80, the overnight low. That's crazy. That's what the Weather Service said. It's more like 90 as our low, I think. So I'm just saying what they're telling me. 105 through the weekend and 105 now. I believe that. And I'm Cricket with your Wildcats Radio 1290 Traffic and Weather together.
This report is sponsored by Rapid Radios.
Rapid Radios are instant push-to-talk walkie-talkies offering national LTE coverage and no subscription ever. Perfect for instant contact with an aging parent. For a limited time, go to rapidradios.com and you'll get an extra 60% off, free UPS shipping, and add code RADIO for an extra 5% off.
Discover luxury at BMW of Tucson, your premier BMW dealership. Explore our extensive inventory, lease specials, and state-of-the-art service. Visit us at the Tucson Auto Mall or at bmwoftucson.com today.
The jungle has moved afternoon, so grab your best Tucson tuxedo and join us on the Jim Rome Show weekdays from noon till 3 p.m. right here on the flagship home of your Arizona Wildcats, Wildcats Radio 1290.
Stay connected while you're on the go with the Wildcats Radio 1290 app. Listen to Arizona Wildcats play-by-play. Get the latest news on your teams and more, all in one place. Download Wildcats Radio 1290 app from the App Store or Google Play today. Wildcats Radio 1290 app is sponsored by Goodfellas Home Solutions.
For quality, honesty, and service you can count on, call Goodfellas Home Solutions. Because when you need help around the house, we can fix it. Need a kitchen or bathroom makeover? Dealing with a clogged drain, leaky faucet, or sewer issue? We'll take care of it fast. We handle just about anything under your roof. Goodfellas Home Solutions. GoodfellasAC.com.
So hot. Hi, can I help you?
Good afternoon. We're with Goodfellas AC Rapid Response Team.
But I didn't call yet.
That's how fast we are, man.
Just as I thought. This AC is out.
No, we're not gonna lose it. Come on. Come on. Don't you die on me.
Johnson, get a hold of yourself. Sorry, we take this very seriously.
Wow, you fellas are good.
It's not just a name, ma'am.
It's who we are kind of thing.
Good service, good prices, Goodfellas. GoodfellasAC.com.
Texting enrolls you into reoccurring automated text messages. Consent not required to purchase. Message and data rates may apply.
Hey, Dan, haven't seen you around the gym for a while.
Yeah, I've really fallen off. Since I turned 40, I just don't get the results I used to get.
Could it be lower testosterone?
Lower T.
Happens to most guys after 40. I was in the same boat until I started using Nugenix Total T2.
Total T2, the new one I've seen on TV.
Yep, it's the next generation testosterone booster for both free and total testosterone. It's packed with even more man-boosting power, sending nitric oxide levels skyrocketing in just 3 hours.
It actually works?
I feel like I'm in my 20s again. I've got more energy, better results in the gym, and things are even better in the bedroom. Send them a text and get a complimentary bottle.
Nugenix Total T2 will help you feel like a new man and is only available when you text TEAR to 231-231. Text now and we'll include a bottle of Nugenix Thermo X, our most powerful fat incinerator ever, absolutely free. Text TEAR to 231-231. That's TEAR to 231-231. TEAR to 231-231.
These statements have not been evaluated by the FDA. This product is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease.
If you're ready to build your dream home, let the Window Depot help. Our expertise spans more than 20 years helping contractors provide custom windows built to last. Our in-house design team works closely with you and your contractor to create the perfect windows. From design to delivery, your contractor will have exactly what they need when they need it. And with the largest inventory and unbeatable prices, your dream windows are just a step away. Visit us in store to get started or find a location near you at thewindowdepot.com. The Window Depot. Best prices, biggest inventory.
Hey, it's DK on the Sports Tip. Don't miss a minute of the best Arizona Wildcats coverage in town. Tell your Alexa device to play Wildcats Radio 1290. This is your home of Arizona football, men's basketball, and baseball. Wildcats Radio 1290.
With Alaskan AC service guarantee, we'll arrive in one day or your repair is free.
That's right. What's right? What the singing people just said.
Gary, you have your earbuds in. I don't know what you're hearing.
Oh, this.
With Alaskan AC service guarantee, we'll arrive in one day or your repair is free.
That's right.
Hi, guys. What's right? That I have my earbuds in. No, you don't.
We were listening to the singing people.
Maybe I should go out and come back in again.
It's the thing about how we arrive in one day or your repair is free.
Oh, right. It's the Alaskan AC guarantee, so people aren't left waiting for a repairman.
Don't we have singing people for that?
Yes, here, use my earbuds.
Gross.
Just play it, Gary.
With Alaskan AC service guarantee, we'll arrive in one day or your repair is free.
That's right.
I know, right?
Right. I'm glad we had this meeting.
AlaskanAC.com.
I thought learning a language would be too much work, but Babbel makes learning fun. J'aime Babel.
Babbel's lessons only take 10 or 15 minutes. And soon, you turn and realize, hey, I'm starting to speak another language. How'd that happen?
Babbel isn't robots talking. You learn words and phrases from real native speakers. I was ready for real-life conversations in just a few weeks. So easy.
Go to Babbel.com to try for free. That's Babbel.com. Babbel.com.
DK on the sports tip. Wildcats Radio 1290.
520-848-1290. 520-848-1290 is the number to get in on the program. We've been talking a lot of NBA. This past week, Summer League getting underway. Your newest Wildcats getting into their NBA form. Just talked about Carter Bryant's performance last night in Las Vegas. A couple of Wildcat for lifers went to the finals with the Indiana Pacers and TJ McConnell and Ben Mathurin coming up just a little bit short of winning a title as the Oklahoma City Thunder came out victorious. Let's talk some Indiana Pacers basketball. Dustin Dopirak joins us, longtime beat writer with the Indianapolis Star. Dustin, appreciate you jumping on. How long has it been for you on the beat there in Indianapolis?
Not that long. It's only been 3 years, but I have been around Indiana for a lot. I covered IU prior to that, and Purdue and Butler, and so I'm probably at I've been out in the state for parts of 10 years, moving back and forth. But yeah, but only 3 years in the Pacers beat, so I've only seen this group grow up a little bit. So, but that's been a fun journey just covering this team as they've kind of come up from a lottery team to what they made it to this year.
Yeah. So what's the feeling right now? This team gets to Game 7 of the finals, and obviously, Tyrese Halliburton comes out and starts that game so well. The injury, obviously, he's not going to be able to play next year. They lose Game 7, no title. Are people happy? Are people like, oh gosh, we missed our opportunity? What's the feeling coming off all that?
Well, I mean, and then you throw onto that Miles Turner obviously decided not to resign, basically, and and so there's certainly a lot of sort of raw feelings from that, and people are kind of on both sides of the discussion. And obviously, you don't know exactly sort of what happened, but I think you just by looking at the number, you can get a sense that it was not the number that probably the number you would have expected is what he ended up signing for, and that obviously tells you that the Pacers didn't offer it. But I guess there was some belief that the Pacers felt like they should have had an opportunity to counter, and they didn't. Ultimately, there's some people who think that Miles should have just stayed for whatever it was, or they shouldn't have paid him enough, or certainly on Turner's side, there's certainly belief that there should have been a better offer there after 10 years. He's their all-time leading shot blocker. So you throw onto that all that emotion on top of the fact that you were going to go in next season, without Tyrese Halliburton. So it's pretty emotional, and some people are obviously crushed because it's not like, what I kind of, related it to is like you're watching somebody win at cards all night, and, he's been playing with house money for hours, and you're thinking, man, like no matter what happens, this guy's in great shape, and all of a sudden he throws his keys in and loses, like his car keys. And all of a sudden it's like, wait, okay, went from, you can't possibly not benefit from this to all of a sudden you're in a dramatically different spot. And so, obviously I think, certainly the fan base enjoyed this. And I think if they would have lost Game 7 normally, it kept everybody around and made another run at it, you're ultimately feeling like, man, like all this is this great stuff. It sucks they didn't win the game, but ultimately, hey, you're right there. 2 years ago, you were a lottery team, like how can you not be ecstatic about what's going on here? And now it's more of a case of, whoa, okay, what happens next? And suddenly you're in a bind at center, and you got to figure out how you're going to make that work. And you're going to play without, your face of your franchise, and you got to figure it out for a year and see what all happens there. And, you don't know what you're going to look like in a year when Halliburton does come back. You certainly don't know how long it's going to take for him to be himself. There is the when can you get back on the floor and start doing stuff timeline, but then there's the timeline of when are you good again? When do you still have the same amount of explosion that you had before the injury? And that's a longer timeline. And so, they've already come out. Kevin Pritchard made a point of saying at the start of this, he's not playing next year, period. Like, no, don't get anybody's hopes up of thinking, if they make a playoff run or, if they're still around in May or whatever, maybe he's got a shot. The answer is no. He's not playing. We're not chancing this. We're not running him out. He's not 100%. He's taking all of next year off and getting healthy. Which is probably the smart move, but all the same, it's like, it's weird to think when you go from being that close to being told, all right, like next year is not going to be the same from the beginning. And so it's definitely a fan base that's having it's going through it right now is the basic way of putting it.
Dustin Dopirak, is that correct? Dopirak.
That's right, Dopirak.
Dopirak joining us from the Indianapolis Star. Let's talk about our two Wildcats that are down there. We kind of discussed back before, not this past season, but at the beginning of last season, when Rick Carlisle talked about how he had to have a conversation with T.J. McConnell that there might not be minutes there for him. The way that the roster had been constructed going into that 23-24 season, and to see what has transpired since that moment before the start of that season to where TJ was at the end of that run in the NBA Finals, it's just been truly miraculous to watch. Did you anticipate that could have been the case, that you're going into a season 2 years ago where this kid might not have even played, and then he was such a huge part of the rotation in the finals?
Yeah, I think, part of it was you look back at that, and there was a reason why that conversation was so emotional for Rick, because it wasn't because of TJ. It was just the way that the roster had set up, and he certainly had a really good season the year before. I mean, they were happy with what they were getting from him. It wasn't for any disappointment on TJ's part that things were moving the direction they were. I mean, they had signed Bruce Brown in the offseason. They were leaning towards trying to make Andrew Nembhard kind of the backup point guard and looking at that as being their sort of long-term direction, basically at that point. And so it wasn't because they weren't happy with TJ or felt that way or whatever. But TJ was getting rotation minutes game 2. And so Rick Carlisle was very much in the sense of this is going to be abnormal for you, but I am going to look to play you. I want to, but this is tough even just saying that you don't have a guaranteed kind of rotation spot right now. And there's going to be ups and downs. There'll be some nights when you play 5 minutes, there'll be sometimes when you play 20, and there's some nights where you don't play at all. It kind of just depends on how this goes. But it was even game 2 in Cleveland that they were down, and he was like, I wanted to get he's still one of my most competitive players, so I wanted to get him in the game. And you saw some sort of up and down there, but there were some injuries to Bruce, some injuries to Nembhard. A little bit of roster shakeup kind of opened up some opportunity for McConnell. And then once they traded Bruce Brown for Pascal Siakam, suddenly then everything kind of moved back into place. I mean, they were already starting to move Nembhard back into that kind of short shooting guard off the ball role where he's sort of a secondary ball handler with Halliburton. It was pretty early in that space where you start to see TJ pick it up, and he ends up having the best offensive season of his career. He was even better last year than he was this year, as far as just getting to his stuff. I mean, he's still the defensive pest that he's always been, but offensively, the style which they play, the amount of ball movement, the openness of the floor, the pace they play with, really, it really works for TJ's skill set, for his ability to get there in the lane or around the rim and do all that little pull-up stuff he does, and the reverses, and the floaters, and just everything that comes out of TJ's offensive game that is so unique it's played towards this thing. And this year he's seen, more defenders have a sense of what he's doing. So he saw kind of all his numbers tick down just a touch, but they're still really good. He was still really effective in the playoffs in particular. And obviously if you're around TJ, you just know this guy, he just will not be defeated. He just refuses to, and he's done so much. Obviously, there's just the fact that he just plays, just like his hair is on fire every single game, every single night. But he's certainly put in the investment that it takes to be a guy who could still play at that pace and at that level at 33. It takes a lot. It certainly, he's a guy that like his diet is impeccable. Like he's like all that stuff, all those little things that you have to do to maintain your body at that stage are things that he's doing. I mean, these guys in particular have metabolisms that are not normal, and they can eat like idiots at 24. Even like regular people can't. These guys can put stuff down, and you're like, what are you doing? And they can pull it off. But like TJ's 33, and he knows he can't do that anymore. And it's rice and salmon and whatever else. I mean, he's just very, very meticulous on everything he does to keep his body in condition, that he can go out and just play like a madman for 25 minutes a night if he has to, or for 15 to 18 or whatever it is. He just fits into this group. Obviously, he's a phenomenal locker room guy, as you can imagine, but just it really sets a lot of the tone for the things they do off the bench, but even just, he's one of those guys that gives this team a big part of its soul.
It seems, obviously we've had you guys out here the last 2 years. Well, the team's been out here the last 2 years for jersey presentations for both Benedict Mathern and TJ McConnell, and those have been both instances where basically the entire team has come down for those types of events. What does that say to the culture that Rick Carlisle tries to make there with this team?
Yeah, no, I mean, it starts with Rick there, and I mean, these guys get along and they're very close to start with. I mean, Rick really makes a point of driving home that you want to celebrate each other's victories, and in life as much as you're doing things that are just within the game. And that was something that was very noticeable to me. I mean, he made a point of making sure I got down there for the game with Benedict. I think they were as part of a long road trip, and he said basically like, hey man, do you want to jump on the plane for this? And I was like, I got to run this by my editor, but I got to make sure this is okay. And it was. But basically, I mean, just I didn't know until the night before, and he was like, hey, do you think you can get down to Tucson tomorrow? I'm like, I already have a flight to Phoenix, but they made that happen because he didn't want it there. He wanted to be written about. He wanted to see that, and we decided there was enough news value for us to do it, and it made sense for us as well as a news organization. But I mean, it really means a lot. That kind of thing, he really likes to celebrate. I mean, like they sing happy birthday for any member of the staff whose birthday it is after practice. Basically they'll bring somebody out there and have the rookies sing. But it's little stuff like that just to keep the group connected, not just the team, but the broader organization. That's something that's really important to him. Rick's a fascinating guy because I mean, like you see there's a social awkwardness to him, but also like there's a real sense of that stuff has to matter, and stuff has to matter. There's more than basketball, but it's also, again, like celebrating your victories and having everybody there for it, and having the sense that everybody's behind you, and that makes for a team that functions better, considering that the way they want to play. They want to play unselfish basketball. They don't want anybody putting themselves far ahead of the team, and they feel like that's ultimately what's made them who they are, and that's what's made them win the way that they do. So those things, they mean a lot for morale. It makes a difference when you go to your old school and then all of your teammates are there, and they're having a good time. One way or the other. Halliburton was sitting out with McConnell, I know, the first time. These guys are sitting out there watching your alma mater with you, and or they're hanging out in the locker room or whatever they can do. They're just doing whatever they can to take in the experience and be a part of it with you. And that creates just a lot more camaraderie, and that's made these guys a super tight thing. I think it was one thing Miles Turner said it ended up being on the way out, but we talked about the night they clinched the Eastern Conference Championship, and he said, a big part of this is the power of friendship. But it matters, in terms of how you're going to build a team now with these aprons and stuff. It makes it hard to keep guys around for a long time. This is the sort of thing that can help you raise up faster, and it's small things like that make a difference.
Dustin Dopirak joining us, Indy Star. So I have to ask you, Dustin, what did you think of McHale Center?
Oh, it was really cool. No, it was really cool. It was a really cool gym. I spent a lot of time going to college gyms. Obviously, it was worked out nice because I think Nate Weekers, the SID there, had been in Indiana last, and so he helped me out, make sure I had a press seat and the whole bit. But yeah, no, it was really cool. I'm trying to think who they played. I think it was UCLA, and we had to get out of there at halftime. I think because I had to ride the bus with them, and they had to get up there and get rested and all those kinds of things. But it was really cool. No, I mean, it definitely it's one of really a standout college gym, and the environment was really cool.
What was the assessment of Benedict Matherin's bounce back season? Missed all of the season before, the last part of the season before with the injury and did not play in the postseason. What were the thoughts on just kind of how he came back from that and was able to be a part of the rotation and had some really nice games in the postseason?
Yeah, no, for sure. I mean, Matherin remains in a very interesting case, and Rick Carlisle made a point of acknowledging that his situation is just different, and it's not easy for him to kind of make be an easy fit there, because he is probably, if he's not their best one-on-one scorer, he's their second best one-on-one scorer. If it's not Siakam, it's him. But he has this sort of really good isolation scorer one-on-one skill set and this confidence, and that doesn't fit naturally into what they do as far as all the ball movement is concerned. And so they've been trying to work with him so that his game better fits. But then every once in a while, when things break down and they're not working the way that they want him to, sometimes he has to be like, hey, Ben, go get 10 right now, or go get 15 right now. And he had to kind of acknowledge with him at one point after, Haliburton had missed 3 games and Matherin had kind of gone off in that period, and then Haliburton came back, and then Matherin's minutes weren't as much. He's not getting as many shots. And then basically Rick had to tell him, like, I get it. Like, I know I'm asking you to do 2 different things. Like, one night I'm asking you to, like, fit in seamlessly and maybe not shoot the ball, and another night I'm asking you, to go get me 20. And I know that's not fair, basically, but that is what we're doing, And so I just need you to hang in there and know that, like, some nights we're going to need you to be this guy, and some nights we're going to need you to be that guy. And that's, as unfair as that is, that's what your situation is. And so that, I think, was difficult. I think so. He started about 49 games. He was mostly the starter at the 3 while Aaron Nesmith was out. And then for about a month as he was making his, basically getting back to his full conditioning and getting back to being himself. And right around the All-Star break, they made the switch to put Nesmith back at the starting 3 and start bringing Matherin off the bench. And, that there's been, I think, that was a little rocky. I think sort of him getting used to that situation, because he did come back. Haliburton had some games he missed after that, and Matherin had some big games in those. And then, when Haliburton was playing, he wasn't always quite as effective. It's just, when Haliburton's in the game is played Haliburton's way. But that means the ball pops and you don't dribble, the ball is supposed to move constantly, one dribble at most, basically, it's catch and shoot, or it's drive when you've got a lane, pass if you don't. And so it's about keeping the ball moving. And Matherin's the type of guy that wants to square up on somebody, cross over a couple times, go to the, try to blow by him, go to the rim. And if you don't blow by him and go to the rim, draw a foul. And so sometimes that's great, and sometimes it doesn't necessarily work. So there's just been this constant back and forth of making, his kind of sharp edges fit in the round holes they need him to fit through. And there's been progress in that regard, but there's been some back and forth.
So then, based on what you just said, Dustin, does that mean now with no Tyrese Haliburton that maybe Ben's role expands on the offensive side next year?
Yeah, good chance. Presuming they keep everything as is, considering the roster stays as is, I would have to presume if you run it back with this group, Ben Matherin's your starting 2 guard. And, not only that, with not having, Haliburton out there to kind of orchestrate, certainly they're going to want to try to play as much of that style as they can. Certainly Andrew Nembhard's capable of running it that way. Certainly Aaron Nesmith fits in that regard, and Pascal Siakam can do whatever you want him to do, frankly. He fits seamlessly regardless. They probably are going to have to – I would have to think you'd have to start Matherin at 2. And in that case, there's going to be games where you're going to have to need him to go get his. And so that could lead to a couple of things. That it could ultimately lead to having more of an established spot going forward. But he is – he is going to be, he could be an unrestricted free agent after next year, or a restricted free agent after next year. His rookie scale deal, has 1 more year on it. Obviously, they could choose to sign him to an extension. Don't know how that's going to work, or if it will. And but it could be one of those things where he gets a walk year and gets to go try to just blow up and see what happens there. It's going to be very interesting to see. I think the Ben Matherin question is one of the most interesting conundrums that they're facing. So we'll see what that looks like, ultimately. But, if he's around, there's certainly an opportunity for him to make an impact, both for the Pacers and for himself as far as his future is concerned.
Dustin Dopirak, he covers the Indiana Pacers for the Indianapolis Star. Dustin, appreciate you taking some time to join us. Great stuff there on the Pacers and our Wildcats for Life, Ben Matherin and TJ McConnell.
Absolutely. Thanks so much for having me.
Dustin Dopirak from the Indy Star. Cricket is getting you home every 20 minutes on the fives with your traffic in your way.
From the Auto Nation Honda and BMW of Tucson Traffic Center, this is Wildcats Radio 1290 Traffic and Weather Together. Tangerine and First Avenue and Tangerine, a reported collision. Tangerine and First Avenue. Prince and Tucson Boulevard and Prince Road, there's a reported traffic hazard. 80, the overnight low, 105 this weekend and 105 right now. I'm Cricket with your Wildcats Radio 1290 Traffic and Weather Together.
This report is sponsored by Rapid Radios.
Rapid Radios are instant push-to-talk walkie-talkies offering national LTE coverage and no subscription ever. Business owners can now keep in touch with up to 200 staff members at one time. Go to rapidradios.com now for up to 60% off and free shipping.
Clicks don't show the full picture, but Cumulus Digital does. We show you exactly who saw your ad by name and address, and our campaigns beat industry benchmarks by over 25%. Visit cumulusdigital.com today to start outperforming.
It's DK on the sports tip. Did you hear what we were talking about? Carter Bryant staying in the NBA draft. Right now, I think most have him between around 9 and 12.
Might measure at 6'7" and 3/4, but he's got the wingspan of a 7-footer. Victor Wembanyama shoots threes, DK. Having a guy who's really long and active and can move his feet and is smart, yeah.
Carter Bryant not coming back. DK on the sports tip, Monday through Fridays at 3, right here on Wildcats Radio, 1290.
It's time to talk Grizzly.
The air conditioner made specifically for Arizona summers.
Alaskan AC introduced the Grizzly a couple years ago, and the reviews are pouring in.
This one says, I love how quiet it is. I can hardly hear it come on, but I'm always comfortable.
Another person writes, finally an air conditioner that can withstand the desert heat and dust.
This one says, I like its fluffy fur and cute black nose.
Anyway, if it's time to upgrade your AC, you can't do better than the Grizzly.
Only available at Alaskan AC.
People love it.
Like this person who said, we live in an older home and the Grizzly keeps us comfortable in every room.
Or this guy. We live just outside of town and the dust is horrible. Glad we have an AC that can take it.
Or this one. He's so cuddly and has these adorable pads on his paws.
Gary, I think you're on a different webpage.
Gary, I think you're different.
Learn more about the Grizzly at alaskanac.com.
Wow, this is bad.
Oh no, how bad? When will my AC be fixed?
You know, I don't know. It's your flux capacitor. They don't make them anymore. Special order. Couple grand easy.
Oh my God, what?
Don't get air conned into paying for shoddy service and stuff you don't need. Put Goodfellas on the job. Goodfellas AC will repair or install your AC the right way the first time. You'll know up front exactly what it'll cost and how long it'll take. No surprises and free second opinions. Good service, good prices, Goodfellas.
This summer, try the new Strato Frappuccino blended beverage at Starbucks. It's the classic blended iced coffee you know and love, now topped with a creamy layer of handcrafted brown sugar cold foam. Available for a limited time. Your Strato Frappuccino is ready at Starbucks.
When you first saw her, she was out walking her dog. You didn't notice her at first. But when you finally did, it was too late. Because at that moment, you were speeding. She was out walking her dog and only had a second to let go of the leash. Your foot was on the gas, and her life was on the line. Speeding catches up with you. Paid for by NHTSA.
This summer, try the new Strato Frappuccino blended beverage at Starbucks. It's the classic blended iced coffee you know and love, now topped with a creamy layer of handcrafted brown sugar cold foam. Available for a limited time. Your Strato Frappuccino is ready at Starbucks.
Sean Furrier for Jack Furrier Tire and Auto Care. If you're driving right now, you may not be thinking about your tires, but chances are they've been tested before. Like that time you swerved to avoid the stray shopping cart that rolled into the street from nowhere? Or when you had a green light but did some extreme braking because another driver decided to turn left in front of you? And we've all had to navigate monsoon downpours that turned our streets into Arizona's largest slip and slide. At Jack Furrier's, we've helped Arizona drivers navigate these extreme moments for over 60 years with the right tires, the best deal, and a huge in-stock selection of the brands you trust. And now's the time to save big with the most rebates we've seen all year on the brands you love, like Michelin, Cooper, and Uniroyal tires, with up to $100 back all month long. And Jack Furrier cardholders get back another $30. Check out jackfurriers.com for details on all our sizzling summer savings. So for all those critical moments where your tires make the difference, check out Jack Furrier Tire and Auto Care.
This is Andrew Bogish with a Sports Minute. In less than 2 weeks, the champion Thunder have committed $822 million future dollars to Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, Jalen Williams, and Chet Holmgren. In a world of nonsensical salaries, NBA money might be king. Formulas spit out these 9-figure deals, then they mix in tax aprons, hard caps, and mid-level exceptions. I'm Andrew Bogish.
Wesley Financial Group is not a law firm.
Hi, I'm Chuck McDowell, the timeshare cancellation guy. In 2011, I founded Wesley Financial Group with one goal in mind: to help honest folks out of their timeshares permanently. Today, I run Wesley with my 2 sons, a real family business, treating every client and every employee like we'd want our own family treated. That philosophy has helped us grow into the largest, most trusted timeshare cancellation company in the United States. Fortune magazine even recognized us as one of the best places to work. Why? Because we genuinely care. In fact, some of our former clients were so moved by their experience working with us, they joined our team so they could help others to timeshare freedom. If you're stuck in a timeshare, give us a call. Let our family help your family.
Call Wesley now for your free timeshare exit kit. 800-761-0000. That's 800-761-0000. 800-761-0000.
DK on the sports tip. Wildcats Radio 1290.
BetMGM Network told us yesterday to take the Mariners on the money line against the Yankees. Seattle had a 5-0 lead going into the bottom of the 8th inning. It was 5-3 Seattle in the 9th.
Line drive, it's a base hit to right field. That's going to tie the game. The Yankees have come all the way back. It's 5-5 on the big 2-run single by Austin Wells.
Wildcat for life, Austin Wells. Yankees would go on and win the game in the 10th inning by a score of 6-5. So Mariners on the money line over the Yankees was a loser last night. The pros play here, though. Austin Wells, Arizona Wildcat catcher. He already has this year, through half a season, more home runs than he had all of last year. 13 home runs in 115 games last year, 55 RBIs. This year in 76 games, 14 home runs, 53 RBIs. And he already has 15 doubles as well, hitting out of the number 2 hole. Catchers hitting in number 2. I mean, the game has changed when you've got catchers. You have some I think he's at times let off for the Yankees this year. Now, he didn't steal any bases, does Austin Wells, but he has 3, but not a base stealer. But having a solid season, still just 25 years old, and his second full season in the big leagues for Austin Wells. All right, we took this whole bet season, this whole 162 bet season has been a beating for us. And so let's go back to yesterday. We talked about the tennis. It was going to be Taylor, what's his last name? Can't even remember his last name right now. Was playing Carlos Alcaraz. Taylor Fritz was playing Carlos Alcaraz at 5:30 this morning. And yesterday we said, okay, this was not one they gave us. We just were talking tennis, and we said we were going to take this, and it was going to be over 3.5 sets in this one. Well, so after the show, I started looking at the line, and it was a plus line if you took over 4.5 sets. So I said, okay, well, we got to win some of our money back, right? This is how gambling works, folks. You're down big, right? So you're just like, okay, I want to see if I can win some of this deficit back that I've got, right?
Just don't put your keys in there.
So we had at 4.5. So the line at over 3.5 sets for today's tennis match was like minus 117. So basically, we're just going to basically win about $12 on our $12.90 bet. But if it went 5 sets, the line went to plus 320. So we had a chance to win $41.28 on our $12.90 bet. So I was like, okay, let's take that chance. Let's bet on the American Taylor Fritz to push it to 5 sets and give us a chance to win some of our money back. And of course, Taylor Fritz lost in 4 sets today.
How many games did he win?
Well, that's right. What was it?
20 over 20?
Well, no, it was Alcaraz over 20. Alcaraz won 6-4, 5-7, 6-3, 7-6. So that would be 13, 18, 24.
24.
Yep. So if you'd taken the Alcaraz over 20.5, you would have been a winner there. But we tried to get 5. We almost got the 4th set was a tiebreaker. The 4th set was a tiebreaker, which Alcaraz won 8-6. All we needed was Fritz to take it to 5 sets, and we'd have made back some of our money. It didn't happen. And on top of that, we had the Red Sox and Rays over 9.5 runs last night, and that game ended 4-3 because the Red Sox decided they finally wanted to pitch this season. So 3 losses. 3 losses yesterday. And we are now back. This is our highest. We have eclipsed our highest deficit of the season with BetMGM Network top plays. We are now $218.41 in the hole.
I told you, pitching it's a hit or miss sometimes. You were talking about trying to go and get Brandon Pfaadt back on your fantasy team. I said you got to hold off on it. And then you get 2 teams that haven't pitched well the entire season. Suddenly, both of them want to actually pitch pretty well, and it ends up biting you.
Well, the Rays have started playing better. I mean, they're actually playing decently recently.
Well, they've got the cloud over their head finally removed because they know what's finally happening with one of their guys.
Yeah. All right. So what do we have tonight? Let's find out. We got a game, I think, coming up. This is on a game later, but we got 2 bets for you tonight. Let's see what.
I'm Michael Jenkins here to help you beat the books with the BetMGM Network. We're taking the Blue Jays on the money line tonight against the Athletics. The Jays are one of the hottest teams in baseball, winning 9 of their last 10. But this is more about fading A's pitcher Luis Severino. 0-8 with an ERA over 7 when playing in Sacramento. He is facing Max Scherzer for the Blue Jays. The Jays have everything in their favor, so we are taking them on the money line. I'm Michael Jenkins from the BetMGM Network. Bet smarter and beat the books, and download the BetMGM app today. Please gamble responsibly.
All right, so you got the Blue Jays on the money line over the A's. That's a West Coast game out in Oakland or Sacramento. They play at the AAA Park there. Minus 162 is the line on that at the Desert Diamond Casino Sportsbook right now. So your $12.90 bet on that game will win you back $8. We do have a plus money game tonight. Tigers on the run line in the first 5 innings tonight. That is the play. Tigers on the run line, minus 1.5 runs in the first 5 innings tonight against the Seattle Mariners. So apparently, pitch around Cal Raleigh, but Tarek Skubal is on the mound. So you got to feel good about that at 10-2 on the season with a 2.02 ERA. So we're laying the Tigers and minus 1.5 runs in the first 5 innings at plus money to try to win $16.13. It has been an absolute disaster with this BetMGM network. We've got, I think that we're at 66-79 record right now. So what does that put us at? That's 145. So we got, what's my math? 17 more bets to go. We are not going to get back to even. We are not going to get back to even on that. I just hope we don't end up in the minus 200 hole.
Yeah, it could always be worse. It could always be worse.
There you go. All right. We'll still give you them because it's fun. It's fun to kind of see how it all works out. BetMGM Network, those are your top plays, currently sponsored by nobody. So jump on board if you like to gamble and you want to be a part of our program and be talked about every
I like that analogy from our last guest where you were playing with house money in your head the whole night until all of a sudden you get super overconfident and you've got the deed to your house in there and your car keys and everything else, and you walk away as a loser. That's the point of no return.
That's why you just said, don't put your keys on the table. Do not put your keys on the table. All right, coming up in the 4 o'clock hour, we're going to talk some more NBA basketball. Dwayne Rankin, longtime beat writer for the Phoenix Suns at the Arizona Republic. He is in Las Vegas. We'll talk to him about mostly more so not so much about what's happening in Las Vegas in the Summer League, but about everything that's happening around the Suns. The fact that I still can't watch the games. I may get into this in the next hour. I can't watch I still can't watch the Diamondbacks. We still do not have the Diamondbacks on the north side. So either these teams don't really care that their games are not on TV, can't watch the Suns, can't watch the Diamondbacks. I mean, it's ridiculous that they're not on all of the cable systems where I don't have to pay extra to get it. I'm going to get off that high horse because I was on it a lot last year. Dragon Ball is telling you everything happening in sports here in Southern Arizona as well as around the world.
Well, the Diamondbacks, sadly, they couldn't get the series win over the Padres. Fernando Tatis Jr. and Manny Machado both managed to knock out leadoff homers. Tatis knocking his out in the 3rd, Machado getting his in the 5th inning. The Diamondbacks couldn't complete the rally in the 7th as they finish up that series at a tied 2-2 split in the extended series. Still sitting 2 games under 500. The Diamondbacks now turn their attention to the Angels today for their first game, and they will have their final 3 games out there in Los Angeles or Anaheim, depending on who you ask, before the All-Star break there. And the Bears and general manager Ryan Poles appear to be sticking it out for the future, and he will be there as long as Ben Johnson, as the franchise has awarded Poles with a new extension to give him his tenure with the Bears all the way through the 2029 season. Poles, again, has been with the franchise since 2022, posted a franchise record 15-36 record, and since that time has even included selecting Caleb Williams with the first overall pick back in 2024. It's a young man's game at Wimbledon as Jannik Sinner showed a stellar performance against one of the greatest to ever grace the grass.
Youth has served on center court. World number 1 shows the strength of his game. As Djokovic depleted, showed grit.
Jannik Sinner, again, routing Novak Djokovic in a 3-set match. As the number 1 overall ranked tennis player, Sinner will go into his first final at the All England Club. Prepares for a battle with Carlos Alcaraz, as you heard us talk about earlier. He's going for his 3rd consecutive Wimbledon title. And I'm Dragon Ball with your 2020 Sports Update on Wildcats Radio 1290.
Don't miss out on any of the action as the University of Arizona takes on the Big 12 Conference.
Bradley for 3. Jaden Bradley has come alive in the second half.
You're listening to the flagship home of Arizona Wildcats athletics. Wildcats Radio 1290.
From the AutoNation Honda and BMW of Tucson Traffic Center, it's Wildcats Radio 1290 traffic and weather together. Collisions will start on the east side at Broadway and Sarnoff and Broadway Boulevard to Oro Valley. A collision that's reported at Tangerine and First Avenue in Tangerine. 80, the overnight low, 105 this weekend and 105 now. And I'm Cricket. And that's your traffic on Wildcats Radio 1290.
This report is sponsored by Rapid Radios.
Rapid Radios are instant push-to-talk walkie-talkies offering national LTE coverage and no subscription ever. Business owners can now keep in touch with up to 200 staff members at one time. Go to rapidradios.com now for up to 60% off and free shipping.
My heat and air were in a state of disrepair.
It's July and we're celebrating Independence Day all month. Picture Rocks Cooling, Heating, and Plumbing wants to buy your old air conditioning unit. For the month of July, we will buy back your old AC unit for $1,776 with the purchase and installation of a new air conditioning system. Picture Rocks Cooling, Heating, and Plumbing, keeping you cool all summer long. Call us at 520-492-0748 or picturerockscooling.com.
Picture Rocks Cooling, Heating, and Plumbing.
Ever wish you could get advice from your future self?
Hey, you, present self.
Huh? Who said that?
It's me. I mean you, from 40 years in the future.
Future me? Wow.
Look, there's no time. The most important thing you need to do right now is go to Tobacco Barn.
Tobacco Barn? Why?
We could have saved a fortune.
What are you talking about?
At Tobacco Barn, you save up to 40% on your favorite tobacco products. 40%! Do you know how much that adds up to over 40 years?
40%? Wow, that's a lot.
And get this, you pay no city or state sales tax. It's basically free money. Plus, there's a $3 coupon available at tobaccobarntucson.com.
A $3 coupon? No sales tax, 40% off. Why didn't you tell me sooner, future self?
By the way, when you meet a girl named Charlene, don't ask her to marry you.
I already did.
Oh, crud.
Don't wait for your future self to tell you. Save today at Tobacco Barn, Nogales Highway, 1 mile south of Valencia. Check tobaccobarntucson.com.
Arizona's free safety position has a new name, the Bear.
A little ferocious name.
But it's going to be intercepted by Arizona. Genesis Smith.
Bear down with Genesis Smith and the Cats all season long. Right here on Wildcats Radio, 1290.
With Alaskan AC service guarantee, we'll arrive in one day or your repair is free.
That's right. What's right? What the singing people just said.
Gary, you have your earbuds in. I don't know what you're hearing.
Oh, this.
With Alaskan AC service guarantee, we'll arrive in one day or your repair is free.
That's right.
Hi, guys. What's right? That I have my earbuds in.
No, you don't. We were listening to the singing people.
Maybe I should go out and come back in again.
It's the thing about how we arrive in one day or your repair is free.
Oh, right. It's the Alaskan AC guarantee, so people aren't left waiting for a repairman. Don't we have singing people for that? Yes. Here, use my earbuds. Gross.
Just play it, Gary.
With Alaskan AC service guarantee, we'll arrive in one day or your repair is free.
That's right.
I know, right?
Right. I'm glad we had this meeting.
AlaskanAC.com.
Coverage varies by plan. View contracts and exclusions at endurancewarranty.com.
Auto repair bills are through the roof. $3,000 to replace the transmission, $4,000 for a blown engine. And if your manufacturer's warranty is expired, you'll have to cover it all out of pocket. You need an Endurance Auto Protection Plan. No matter what the mileage, if your car is under 20 years old, Endurance can get you covered on the engine, electrical system, transmission, AC, drivetrain, and more. Endurance has plans for any budget. Repairs can be done at the certified mechanic of your choice, and they're paid directly with no middleman. Plans cover 24/7 roadside assistance, towing, battery jumps, fuel deliveries, tire changes, lockout services, and a 30-day money-back guarantee. Act now and get our elite benefits, including complete tire care and key fob replacement. A $2,000 value at no extra cost. With Endurance, you could never pay for covered auto repairs again, so call now for your free quote. Call 800-291-0376. 800-291-0376. 800-291-0376.
KCUB Tucson, a Cumulus Media station, your home for the National Football League, starting with the Hall of Fame game through the regular season into the playoffs and ending in the Super Bowl. Wildcats Radio, 1290.
DK on the sports tip. Wildcats Radio 1290.
All right, it is summer season for your Phoenix Suns. They are in Las Vegas. The Summer League for the rookies and second-year players, maybe a few third-year players, is happening. The Suns will be on the floor tonight. Let's check in and talk some Suns basketball with Dwayne Rankin. He covers the team and has been for a long time for the Arizona Republic. Dwayne, appreciate you taking some time to join us. The Suns will be on the floor tonight. I don't know, are the courtside seats going to go for $3,000 tonight for the Suns game like they were last night for Dallas and the Lakers?
No, they will not exceed those prices. That's for sure. But should be an interesting game. But no, you're not setting records with that.
There you go. Well, let's obviously a tumultuous offseason so far for this club, starting with the coaching change, the GM change. We had the draft here recently. Obviously, the big news this week was the locking up of Devin Booker. One of the questions I want to ask you in terms of this is we've heard that obviously Devin had some say in the hiring of the new coach, Jordan Ott, assistant from the Cleveland Cavaliers. Had he had that type of input before in some of the recent hires that they've had since Mat Ishbia took over?
Since Mat Ishbia took over, no. Not that I'm aware of. But, I mean, you're in a situation where you're investing what they are investing in Devin. So you would like to give him some power. There was a time earlier in his career when, that was a thought. Okay, let's let him have some more say. Let's let him have a say in what we're doing as a Suns as a franchise. But no, this is something that, again, if you're spending what you're spending and you're investing what you're investing in Devin Booker and he is your franchise player, then it makes sense to let him have a say in who he wants to play for and who he wants to play with.
What have you heard in terms of what impressed him most about Coach Ott?
I mean, Coach Ott is one of those guys that offensively, there's a creative side to him. I believe with the ability of getting easy buckets. That's something that the Suns just haven't had in recent years. It's been a lot of shot making, but not a lot of easy buckets. And I'm not saying it's 0.5. But I think that's stuff when people think easy, they think 0.5. But backdoors, cuts, things of that nature, and that's one of the things that when you're looking at a guy like Booker, who's going to be the focal point of an offense, he'd like to have things a little easier, not just him trying to score one-on-one. So that's one of several things that, and then again, it's you're looking at a young guy, that has an attitude about him in terms of this is an opportunity for him, and the Suns are moving in that direction. I mean, this is not, this is a shift from going after the coach that's won championships to going after a coach who has some innovation in the sense of trying new things. And I think that's where, the two lines, merge. And, if you're a player like Devin, you want to get excited over something, you want to see something different. Coach Ott is something different from what he's had in his previous two head coaches.
We're chatting with Dwayne Rankin, Suns beat writer for the Arizona Republic. Dwayne, you think we're seeing a trend in that, in these younger coaches, these younger minds coming up? Obviously, Mark Daigneault had never been a head coach in this league before, but had been in that system with the Thunder, and they elevated him into that seat. Are we seeing a trend in some of these new younger coaches and what they're bringing, the mindset they're bringing to the NBA game?
Depends on the franchise. The Knicks, they just hired Mike Brown.
Yeah, that's true.
Head coach since early 2000. So it depends on the franchise, depending on where you at. I mean, if Knicks could have easily went that route. I thought Johnny Bryan was someone that would be in the running for that because he was down to the last two for the Suns, and Bryan and Thibodeau have a relationship in terms of the Knicks and him being there. And I thought, well, maybe okay. Bryant's a young guy a younger guy they could go with, but they hired Mike Brown. So I think it depends on the franchise, what a franchise is. The Suns are in a position where they don't have a roster necessarily where you're bringing in that kind of coach. They have a roster that probably is more appropriate for the coach they hired.
Dwayne, where is this franchise right now? Are we in a good place with the Suns? I mean, 4 coaches in 4 years, a new owner who we thought a lot of people were excited about, basketball background, brings in a GM that doesn't have a whole lot of experience. Are we in a positive place right now with this franchise, do you believe?
I mean, it depends on how you look at it. I think when you're looking at what they're trying to do, in terms of this whole idea of being aligned, they are truly that now. When you start bringing in who they brought in and the connections that they have with each other. So that's one thing. On the other end, again, you have to look at what they're going to end up doing, likely with Bradley Beal with the buyout. So if that happens and they get under the second apron, then you're going to see a different roster because they're not going to have to just give vet minimum guy like they have been doing for the last couple of years. And so there's things that has to happen for them to be a team where, we're good. I'm good. Thank you. Sorry about that. I'm at a hotel in Vegas, so you're a knock on the door, you go address it, and there's someone trying to address up. They should have addressed earlier today, but that's besides the point. No, I think I think it depends on how you view it. They're clearly not going to be a playoff contender. We're not looking at a championship contender. We're looking at a franchise that's trying to create a new identity in terms of how they play. They went from relying on 3 stars to create a lot of offense and weren't exactly a great defensive team. Correction, they were a bad defensive team. They're going from that to trying to build themselves around being this defensive-minded, competitive, get out. Now look, it's all here. It's all, quite frankly, it's all talk right now. You got to see how that plays out on the court. Then you got to see what kind of roster they end up coming up with. But at the end of the day, that's supposed to be the plan. Now, if we're 3 months into the season and they don't have that and they're losing, then you can say, okay, wow, this team is whatever. Or it is working. They are being more competitive because, quite frankly, they got blown out a lot last year. I mean, with some lopsided scores they experienced last year. So, you want to see can they be a more competitive team on a night-to-night basis. And this is truly, I would say this is truly Devin's team, like through and through. Like I know he's been the face of the league, face of the team, the franchise player, but I think Chris Paul was the leader of the team when Chris was here. And I think Kevin was the best player. So a lot of it gravitated to him when they won or lost. It was on him. Like, what's going on? You're supposed to be X, Y, and Z. Or, wow, Kevin Durant can still play. So now, no Kevin, likely no Brad moving forward. This is Devin, and it's on him now to 10 years in the league, going to his 11th year, to take this franchise into the next 4, 5, 6 years, with the contract going through the 2029, 30. I'm looking at the extension. So yeah, so I'm curious to see where it goes, but whether it's positive or negative, is not championship. That is for certain.
So, well, then let me circle back around to what you just said there as that relates to Devin Booker. He's okay with that. He's okay with the fact that now you're the guy now, but we don't have a team set up to get to the postseason, maybe not get to the postseason, definitely not get to a championship for several years.
No, not several. No, let's I didn't say several.
Okay.
I said this year.
Okay.
This year. All right. We're not talking about several years. We're talking about this year, them not being a championship team. I mean, looking at what's out there, they wouldn't be able to put together a team that could compete with OKC or Denver or Minnesota or even Houston for that matter. We're talking, again, get under the apron first. If they can get under the apron, then they can bring in better players because you can pay players more money. That's the first thing. You can have more flexibility with your dollars in terms of how you spend them. Ishbia spent a lot of money and it hasn't resulted in championships, in part because he spent it on 3 players that didn't fit and didn't play a lot of games together. So now they can utilize the money better. And they thought you got to be thinking, okay, the rookies that they brought in each have a chance to be impact players. And then you're looking at how they fill it out with Jalen Green and Dylan Brooks. And you want to see what they do with this roster. And then you want to see, do they keep the roster? Do they keep the coach? You just mentioned 4 coaches. It'll be 4 coaches in 4 years. I mean, you just can't. You can't fire the coach after this season. I don't care how it goes. I mean, if you're doing that, then you're just completely throwing out this whole idea of trying to be aligned as a franchise. Because the whole idea of bringing in somebody like Jordan is to give him a chance to build and create a culture that they can build upon. You're not going to do that. Keep hiring new coach after new coach after new coach after new coach. So you got to keep the coach. So that's what I mean. Like, are they going to do all those things and realize, okay, you know what? This year we can't see ourselves being a team that competes for a title, but we were building something so in the future they can be. And Devin, as far as whether he's cool with it or not, I think it's a matter of, hey, look, I'm going to follow this plan here. Okay, y'all got this plan? All right, I'll roll with this plan. If he wasn't rolling with it, you're not putting yourself in that, getting that extension. So I'm going to buy into this plan and see what y'all come up with. I didn't have a say on who was hired as the coach. So you should keep the coach more than a year. So we'll see how all that plays.
Dwayne Rankin joining us, Arizona Republic beat writer for the Suns. What is the best thing in your mind that Mat Ishbia has done since he bought this team? Because I mean, granted we're in Tucson here, but half the town can't watch the games because it's only on one cable system. And I happen to live on the side of town that I can't watch the Suns games. I can't watch the Diamondbacks games unless I want to pay extra money on top of what I pay for cable. What's the best thing that you think he's done since he took over?
Well, the whole idea of the whole state of Arizona, having been able to watch the Suns, clearly you just letting us know that that's not the case. So that would be something that I think that's something that's clearly not in the top of what he's done well. I think if there's one thing I will say, and it's not about, I know he gets, he initially got credit for spending money. But like I said, hasn't resulted in championships. I think the mentality that he has in terms of wanting to win has been the one thing that I can say that he's done that sticks out in terms of because I don't look at things as well, and I don't view things that way. I view things more of, okay, what have you shown consistently that you're hanging your hat on? And the whole clearly isn't hanging his hat on the coach's hire that he's made because he's fired him after 1 year, and clearly he hasn't. That's something that's clearly he hasn't done as far as sticking with the coach, but. Our whole idea is that, look, I'm just trying to win. I'm trying to win. I'm doing everything I can to try to win. And if the mentality, if they can now match bringing in the right players, sticking with the coach, figuring out how to build a better roster, finding talent that fit what they want, then he's going to look like a genius. If the Suns turn it around, they're gonna be like, wow, like he because this whole notion that he got involved, he's more involved in the basketball side because he was, the whole business side he's, taken care of. So he wasn't as much involved in the business and the basketball side. I tend to disagree with that because he's okay in deals. He okayed the Kevin Durant deal. He okayed the Bradley Beal trade. So when you're okaying something, then you're involved. And so now you may be trusting people to do the right thing. But it is interesting to see what they have tried to do. But the mentality I think he has is something that, hey, if he can maintain that and then they start doing things to validate that in terms of wins, they're going to love him in Phoenix. But if it's still, we're trying to win, we're doing all this, and it's still not resulting, then that's when it becomes even worse. Like, hey, dude, you're saying a lot, but Suns have missed playoffs 3 years in a row. Then it starts to become just hot air. But right now, the way they shifted in terms of what they're trying to do has given him some, hey, let's, let's get excited for the Suns, even though the fans know they're not going to be in the running for a title this season unless something just crazy happens on a lot of levels for them to even be in that position. I just don't see that happening. But they do see, okay, this is going in a direction that they can ride with. And that's what Ishbia, the mentality is giving the fan. Okay, we can ride with you being this way because we think you're doing this to get the team going in a certain direction.
Dwayne, I appreciate you taking the opportunity to join us. I hope room service gets their act together down there. Enjoy your time in Las Vegas.
We try. All right, guys. Y'all be easy.
Dwayne Rankin, Arizona Republic. Cricket getting you home every 20 minutes on the fives with your traffic and your weather.
From the AutoNation Honda and BMW of Tucson Traffic Center, this is Wildcats Radio, 1290 Traffic and Weather Together. Collision 22nd and Wilmot reported on 22nd Street near Wilmot, and also waterline work on Park Avenue between 36th Street to north of 22nd. Work complete toward the end of August, and then the roadway will be reconstructed. 80, the overnight low, 105 this weekend and a 105 now. I'm Cricket with your Wildcats Radio, 1290 Traffic and Weather Together.
This report is sponsored by Dell Technologies.
The new Dell AI PC with Intel Core Ultra helps you fast forward through busy work like editing images, summarizing meeting notes, and responding to Jim's long emails, leaving more time for you time. Get a new Dell AI PC starting at $699.99 at Dell.com/AI-PC.
Did you miss the big game?
They need a 3 to get to overtime.
You know we got you covered.
Midcourt, shot is up. Good! Love has hit a 3. We're going to overtime.
Trying to keep it close, and you never give up. I guess that's life in the Big 12.
Wildcats Radio 1290.
It's time to talk Grizzly.
The air conditioner made specifically for Arizona summers.
Alaskan AC introduced the Grizzly a couple years ago, and the reviews are pouring in.
This one says, I love how quiet it is. I can hardly hear it come on, but I'm always comfortable.
Another person writes, finally an air conditioner that can withstand the desert heat and dust.
This one says, I like its fluffy fur and cute black nose.
Anyway, if it's time to upgrade your AC, you can't do better than the Grizzly.
Only available at Alaskan AC.
People love it.
Like this person who said, we live in an older home and the Grizzly keeps us comfortable in every room.
Or this guy. We live just outside of town and the dust is horrible. Glad we have an AC that can take it.
Or this one. He's so cuddly and has these adorable pads on his paws.
Gary, I think you're on a different webpage.
Gary, I think you're different.
Learn more about the Grizzly at alaskanac.com.
Consistently beating industry benchmarks by over 25% isn't a fluke. It's Cumulus Digital. Smarter marketing with proof. We show you exactly who saw your ad by name and address. That kind of precision is why more than 4,000 businesses partner with us every month, whether they need one product or a full digital strategy. Visit cumulusdigital.com today because you're not average, and your marketing results shouldn't be either. That's cumulusdigital.com.
Nobody covers your Cats like we do, with press conferences, coaches shows, and play-by-play.
Bounce pass, a walk, a slam it home.
We bring you all the stories, highlights, and analysis of your Arizona Wildcats. We are Wildcats Radio 1290.
Sean Furrier for Jack Furrier Tire and Auto Care. If you're driving right now, you may not be thinking about your tires, but chances are they've been tested before. Like that time you swerved to avoid the stray shopping cart that rolled into the street from nowhere? Or when you had a green light but did some extreme braking because another driver decided to turn left in front of you? And we've all had to navigate monsoon downpours that turned our streets into Arizona's largest slip and slide. At Jack Furrier's, we've helped Arizona drivers navigate these extreme moments for over 60 years with the right tires, the best deal, and a huge in-stock selection of the brands you trust. And now's the time to save big with the most rebates we've seen all year on the brands you love, like Michelin, Cooper, and Uniroyal tires, with up to $100 back all month long. And Jack Furrier cardholders get back another $30. Check out jackfurriers.com for details on all our sizzling summer savings. So for all those critical moments where your tires make the difference, check out Jack Furrier Tire and Auto Care.
My perfect day has sand, salt water, and friends. But my moderate to severe plaque psoriasis can take me out of the moment. Now I'm all in with clearer skin thanks to Skyrizi. Risankizumab Riza, a prescription-only 150 milligram injection for adults who are candidates for systemic or phototherapy. With Skyrizi, most people saw 90% clearer skin, and many were even 100% plaque-free at 4 months. Skyrizi is just 4 doses a year after 2 starter doses.
Don't use if allergic to Skyrizi. Serious allergic reactions, increased infections, or lower ability to fight them may occur. Before treatment, get checked for infections and tuberculosis. Tell your doctor about any flu-like symptoms or vaccines.
Thanks to Skyrizi, there's nothing on my skin, and that means everything. Ask your doctor about Skyrizi, the #1 dermatologist-prescribed biologic in psoriasis. Visit skyrizi.com or call 1-866-SKYRIZI to learn more.
Download our app. It slaps. Nobody covers Southern Arizona sports like we do. Don't miss out on any of the highlights, stories, and analysis. The flagship home for Arizona Wildcats athletics, Wildcats Radio 1290.
I'm Patrick Claybon with NFL Network Now on the Westwood One Radio Network. Commissioner Roger Goodell responded to questions Thursday about current and future media rights regarding the NFL, including how the Paramount Skydance deal could impact where games are streamed, and that, at the moment, there are no plans to end the league's long-standing relationship with CBS. Goodell also mentioned the NFL's goal to eventually expand to 16 international regular season games. Chiefs Chairman and CEO Clark Hunt and the Arthur M. Blank Family Foundation joined the Cowboys, Texans, Vikings, NFL Foundation, and others by each pledging $500,000 to relief and recovery efforts in response to the deadly flooding in Central Texas. And the Steelers have announced that new acquisition Jalen Ramsey will retain his number 5 jersey this season. Ramsey initially switched his number from 20 to 5 in the 2021 season, while still a member of the Los Angeles Rams. This has been NFL Network Now on the Westwood One Radio Network.
For nearly 2,000 severely injured veterans, everyday life has become filled with barriers. So we build specially adapted homes at Homes for Our Troops. And thanks to our donors and supporters, this life-changing gift of freedom is provided mortgage-free to these veterans. But we need you to join us too in completing this important mission. Please visit hfotusa.org and help build homes and rebuild lives.
Millions of Americans take medicine like Ozempic and Zepbound. Many of them are overpaying by thousands of dollars a year. These GLP-1 medications for diabetes, weight loss, and more may not always be covered by your insurance, but GoodRx can help. GoodRx helps you save every month on prescriptions at over 70,000 pharmacies nationwide. Best of all, it's free to use. Check GoodRx to save on GLP-1s. Just go to goodrx.com/GLP. That's goodrx.com/GLP. GoodRx is not insurance but can be used instead of insurance, including Medicare and other federal and state-funded programs.
DK on the sports tip. Wildcats Radio 1290.
520-848-1290 is the number to get in on the program. Final regular season game coming up Sunday night at Keno North Stadium for your FC Tucson. The football club currently sitting in the second position in the Southwest Division, 2 points behind Ventura County. But a win this weekend would give the fellas, the boys in black, a chance to go back to the postseason to defend their Western Conference championship. Let's talk some FC Tucson. Pleased to be joined by forward Paul Cagliari. Am I saying that correct, Paul Cagliari?
Yeah, Cagliari with the French accent. But yeah, that was pretty good.
Cagliari.
Uh-huh.
So you're from France?
Yeah, I'm from France. Yeah, Paris.
There you go. Okay, so tell us how you got to the United States to play some soccer.
After high school, I didn't know what I wanted to do, and back home, either you play sports, either you go to school. So here you can do both at the same time. So when I heard about this opportunity, I didn't waste a second and started looking for a school.
So now you go to the University of Charleston.
Yeah, in West Virginia.
Okay, so Charleston, West Virginia. Okay, I wasn't sure if it was West Virginia or South Carolina. So then how do you find that school? What's the process in France? Okay, I want to go play in the United States. I want to go to college and play. Now, what was your process to try to find a school to land at?
So first I went to Colorado. I played junior college.
Oh, okay.
So for that, you basically need a video. That was harder for me because my last year back home, I completely stopped playing and focused on school, and I had a few injuries, so that was harder for me. My videos were from like 1 year or 2 years before that, but I had a few clips, which was good for me, and then you have like a lot of different tests, English tests you have to do, and then just talk to the coach and start the process.
There you go. So Colorado for junior college, and you were there for what, 2 seasons, I would imagine, there before landing at Charleston. And when you were now looking to move up to the 4-year school level, what different places did you have a chance potentially to go play, and why was Charleston the right place to land for you there?
I had a few good options, a few D1s, a few D2s. I thought Charleston was the best option because the year before they just won the national championship, even though it was D2 and everyone wants to play D1. At the end of the day, it's like if you play for one of the best D2s in the country, you're still at a great level. So that's why I went there.
We are chatting with Paul Cagliari. He is a forward for the FC Tucson out of France. The boys will be back home on Sunday night, 7 o'clock at Aquino North Stadium, fan appreciation night against Capo FC, and I'm sorry, against CCV Stars. You guys played Capo earlier in the week and took a draw on the road, so very important game. They are the defending champions, and they need to win to get in. So no pressure Sunday night, right, against CCV, but that's a team that's not very good. You still don't want to overlook them, but what's the mindset going into that match, knowing you got to win to get to the postseason?
Yeah, you got to respect everyone. The first game we played against them was an early game. We won 5-2, so we know they're going to be solid. We got to respect them. Come and give our all, and then get the win and get the playoffs.
Big win at home last time you guys were here against the VC Fusion. If I'm not mistaken, you had the go-ahead goal, or one of the goals in that game, correct?
Yeah, I had the first one.
You had the first goal, the goal that tied the ball game because they got on top. What was it kind of? Obviously, that VC Fusion is one of the best teams annually in this league alongside FC Tucson. It stinks that you guys only got to play them once this season, but how excited were you guys for that night, knowing that it was the best 2 teams in the Southwest Division?
Super excited. I mean, the whole year we knew that game was going to decide who's going to go to playoffs. We hoped, obviously, to keep going with the win against Capo, but a point also worked. So, yeah, that was a huge game. The fans were here. It was unbelievable.
How do you break down your game in terms of how you play out there on the pitch?
Me personally or as a team?
No, you personally, your game.
Me personally, I like to play high up the pitch. I'm a striker. I've played on the wing a few times too, but more so as a striker. I like to play my back to the goal, and also I like to turn and go dribble 1v1. I just love to create chances, score goals, give assists.
Now, did you grow? You were born in France. Did you grow up in all your formative years in Paris?
Yeah, I was in Paris until I was 17, and then I moved to the U.S.
Okay, so what's it like to grow up in Paris?
It's very different. In Paris, you have a lot of different cultures. I live around Paris, not in Paris. So around Paris, there's a lot of people from different countries all over the world, a lot of people from Africa. Me, myself, my dad is from Guadeloupe, who's a little French island next to South America. So it was really cool, really cool. You get to experience a lot of different people, a lot of different backgrounds, and yeah, I loved it.
Okay, so when you take people to Paris, do you take them to all the normal type places, or do you say, no, we're going to go and do the stuff that most people won't even know about?
I think you have to visit the big places like the Eiffel Tower and all of these, but whenever you saw these, it takes, 2-3 days, then I think it's nice to see the little spots that no one knows, and that's where I would take people.
All right, so what's Paul Cagliari's favorite restaurant in Paris?
That's a good question. I don't think I have exactly one restaurant that I love. We have a lot of, little restaurants that do kebabs. I don't know if you heard about that.
There you go. Paul Cagliari joining us, forward for the FC Tucson. Guys will be back home Sunday night, 7 o'clock. Huge match against the CCV Stars as the side can win to get into the postseason. Now, you were not with the squad last year, correct?
I was with the squad last year.
You were with the so you had a chance to experience going and winning the Western Conference championship. For you, what memories did you take away from being on that side last year?
That was such a great experience, especially for me because I got hurt before the first game and missed about like 11, 12 games and got back like 2 games before playoffs. And, we had a difficult season until the end. We didn't know if we were going to make playoffs. We made it on the last game exactly like this year. And going this run was just amazing. Everyone was supporting us, the fan. We felt the support from everywhere. And hopefully this year we'll go even further.
All right, Sebastian Pineda, your head coach out there. What have you learned from him in the 2 years that you've had a chance to play for him?
He's a great coach, great coach. Last year, I was hesitating between coming here and going to another team in North Carolina. And on the first call with him, I just knew that was the place I wanted to come. He's a great coach, great person. Helped me a lot with my game, knows how to handle different personalities, different games, and he's really a great coach.
There you go. Now, your favorite player is Neymar, is that correct?
Yes, he is.
So why do you love Neymar?
He's just fun to watch. He plays football just to have fun, no pressure. He's unbelievable. He played in Paris. I got to see him play a few times, and that was just magical.
All right. So what's your favorite? Do you have a favorite club that you like to watch or that you follow?
Yeah, I like PSG from Paris. Yeah.
PSG.
Mm-hmm.
All right. There you go. You have a lot of their apparel.
Yeah, I do. Yeah, I give them a lot of money.
You give them a lot of money. That's awesome. That's awesome. All right, it is the FC Tucson and CCV Stars coming up on Sunday night at Keno North Stadium. A kickoff at 7 o'clock. A win for the boys in black gets them back into the postseason for a chance to win a second consecutive Western Conference championship. Go out there and check out Paul Cagliari. He is wearing number 9. Wait, any specialness in not number 9? Is that the number you wear in college as well, or is that just the one they gave you when you got here?
Yeah, that's the number I wore in college.
Okay, why number 9? Why is that number special to you?
It's just a good number. There's a lot of great players that have worn this number, so I'm just trying to follow this trend.
There you go. Paul, hey, best of luck on Sunday night. Looking forward to another win and getting back to the postseason, another run to the Western Conference Finals.
Thank you for having me. Thank you.
Paul Cagliari, forward. I haven't spoken French in a long time. I've told the story many a time. I grew up taking French in elementary school, but never really got a chance to go over there and put any of that to use. But still, I can still maybe roll it a little bit if
Dragon
I
Ball,
need to.
Do French?
No, never French. I did one semester in high school for Spanish, and then after that, everything went boop out my head.
Yeah, we were taking Italian because we were going to Italy for a project, and then it got switched because of will date me, but the original issues in the Gulf with Kuwait and whatnot changed our plans. We went up to Eastern Canada, where you may know Quebec. So we studied French throughout that whole process. We even did, I think, Les Mis in French one time. But, bro, just like you, that was like 30 years ago. I don't think it's been about that long, probably, since I spoke French.
One of the things that's going to be going on Sunday night is they're going to be FCC is going to be honoring Dadrian Raymond Brown, who was the young man who was shot and killed this past weekend in a senseless act of violence. He was a member of both the FC Tucson Youth and Vail soccer clubs. I believe he was also on the team at Cienega High School, and he was shot and killed last Saturday night here in Tucson. So they'll be honoring Dadrian Raymond Brown at Sunday's game, and we definitely send our thoughts out to Dadrian's family, the unspeakable tragedy that they are dealing with, having lost their son and brother last weekend. It is DK on the Sports Tip. Coming up, we'll let you know what is going on with your Diamondbacks. Another pitcher has landed on the injured list. And, of course, it's a reliever. And, of course, I have all the relievers. So not only does this hurt you, but it hurts me. Cricket is getting you home every 20 minutes on the fives with your traffic and your weather.
From the AutoNation Honda and BMW of Tucson Traffic Center, it's Wildcats Radio 1290 Traffic and Weather together. Collisions reported 22nd and Wilmot reported on 22nd Street near Wilmot. Also crash that occurred Cardinal and Valencia and Cardinal. Some slowing westbound on Ajo at Mission. 80 the overnight low, 105 through the weekend, and 105 now. I'm Cricket with your Wildcats Radio, 1290 traffic and weather together.
This report is sponsored by Wendy's new Takis Fuego meal. Wendy's new Takis Fuego meal is here with a Takis Fuego chicken sandwich and small Fuego fries inspired by Takis Fuego chips with a 1-ounce Takis Fuego bag and a drink. Grab yours today. Limited time only at participating U.S. Wendy's while supplies last. Takis and Fuego are used under license.
AutoNation Honda Tucson at the Auto Mall is your premier automotive destination in town. Explore the new 2025 Honda models and extensive collection of pre-owned vehicles. Experience no-hassle financing and our no-haggle one-price selection. Visit AutoNation Honda Tucson at the Auto Mall today.
It's DK on the sports tip. Did you hear what we were talking about?
A Cinco de Mayo party tomorrow at 6 p.m.
Maybe I'll see if I can get somebody to come in and maybe do some mixology. And
It's just sweet and sour that we're drinking on air, right? Like there's no actual adult cocktails in there.
Whatever.
Mocktails.
Exactly.
Insert
Mocktails.
big wink, nudge, nudge.
DK on the sports tip, Monday through Fridays at 3, right here on Wildcats Radio, 1290.
Sean Furrier for Jack Furrier Tire and Auto Care. If you're driving right now, you may not be thinking about your tires, but chances are they've been tested before. Like that time you swerved to avoid the stray shopping cart that rolled into the street from nowhere? Or when you had a green light but did some extreme braking because another driver decided to turn left in front of you? And we've all had to navigate monsoon downpours that turned our streets into Arizona's largest slip and slide. At Jack Furrier's, we've helped Arizona drivers navigate these extreme moments for over 60 years with the right tires, the best deal, and a huge in-stock selection of the brands you trust. And now's the time to save big with the most rebates we've seen all year on the brands you love, like Michelin, Cooper, and Uniroyal tires, with up to $100 back all month long. And Jack Furrier cardholders get back another $30. Check out jackfurriers.com for details on all our sizzling summer savings. So for all those critical moments where your tires make the difference, check out Jack Furrier Tire and Auto Care.
With Alaskan AC service guarantee, we'll arrive in one day or your repair is free.
That's right. What's right? What the singing people just said.
Gary, you have your earbuds in. I don't know what you're hearing.
Oh, this.
With Alaskan AC service guarantee, we'll arrive in one day or your repair is free.
That's right.
Hi, guys. What's right?
That I have my earbuds in.
No, you don't.
We were listening to the singing people.
Maybe I should go out and come back in again.
It's the thing about how we arrive in one day or your repair is free.
Oh, right. It's the Alaskan AC guarantee, so people aren't left waiting for a repairman. Don't we have singing people for that?
Yes, here, use my earbuds.
Gross.
Just play it, Gary.
With Alaskan AC service guarantee, we'll arrive in one day or your repair is free.
That's right.
I know, right?
Right. I'm glad we had this meeting.
AlaskanAC.com.
Progressive knows when you're in your RV, you're already on vacation. That's when you become Vacation You, who just camped where there's absolutely no shade. Even though regular you burns easily. In fact, Vacation You burns too, but is too stubborn to admit it, which is why regular you gets in trouble at the dermatologist, because Vacation You doesn't do doctors. So bundle your RV with your home or auto policy and earn an automatic discount from Progressive. And spend the savings on the both of you. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company affiliates and other insurers. Not available in all states or situations.
ZipRecruiter is the place. ZipRecruiter is the place for talented teachers, savvy software developers, and master mixologists. ZipRecruiter is the place where you meet all these people and more. That's because ZipRecruiter is the place for job seekers who are looking for new opportunities. In fact, ZipRecruiter helps 10 million people with their job search every day, so you can find the right candidates right away. Try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
The American Red Cross is asking to give blood or platelets now to help people counting on life-saving medical care. Type O blood is especially needed on hospital shelves. It's the most common blood type and can be critical in emergencies. If you don't know your blood type, that's okay. You'll learn it after your donation, and donors of all blood types can make a tremendous difference. Make an appointment to give today. Use the Red Cross Blood Donor app, visit redcrossblood.org, or call 1-800-RED-CROSS to book your donation.
This is Bill Ryder with a Sports Minute sponsored by AutoZone. Get in the zone, AutoZone. So Cooper Flagg had his Summer League debut. And surprise, surprise, he wasn't very good. And already the he's a bust silliness has ramped up. Let me remind you, Summer League has almost no historical bearing on being good in the NBA. Victor Wembanyama was awful at his Summer League debut. Cooper Flagg is going to be a star, and everything else is just noise. I'm Bill Ryder.
Welcome to AutoZone. What are you working on today?
My car is making this noise. Sometimes it's like doot, 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 and sometimes it's like grrr.
Do you have a dash light on?
Oh, yeah.
Then we don't have to listen for clues. With the free Fix Finder service, we can read a check engine, ABS, or maintenance light to find the likely fix and even recommend a local shop if you need one.
So you don't need to hear the grrr.
Not with Fix Finder. Everything you need, nothing you don't.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
Restrictions apply.
All right, Takis fans. Wendy's knows you love your Takis Fuego chips. So we thought, why not make a Takis Fuego meal with a Takis Fuego chicken sandwich with spicy chicken topped with crushed Takis Fuego chips and creamy corn spread. Plus, it comes with Fuego fries inspired by Takis and a bag of Takis Fuego chips. If we had any more heat, we might start an actual... I told him this would happen. For an intense new take on Takis chips, gotta be Wendy's.
Limited time only at participating U.S. Wendy's. Includes 1 ounce Takis Fuego chips while supplies last. Takis and Fuego trademarks are used under license.
DK on the Sports Tip. Wildcats Radio 1290.
520-848-1290 is the number to get in on the program. You can call us at that number. You can text us at that number. Hope you had a chance to get one of those sweet deals that we had this morning. My understanding is those were gone in 8 minutes. There were like 12 of them. To the Twisted Union Winery.
People love wine and soaking.
Apparently, they love it because those went on sale at 8:30, and I'm told they were gone by 8:38. So hope if you got a chance to get one of those, that you get down to Elgin, Sonoita, and enjoy that fabulous location. I've actually been to. I've not stayed there. I've been there, and I've seen those units before that they have there. It's a very, very nice little location. Kind of looks like a fortress type of environment down there. But yeah, good stuff down there at Twisted Union. Hope you got a chance to get one of those for sure. All right, Carter Bryant, big game in his Las Vegas debut in terms of his defense last night. He had a chance to chat about the defense that he had shown prior when the Spurs were playing. They were up in Sacramento, correct? If I'm not mistaken, J-Dub. They were in Sacramento, that Summer League up there as well. And Carter showed a little defense in that series as well. Talked about it before the game yesterday.
Let's talk about the 14th overall pick in the draft, Carter Bryant. When you look at the prototypical 3-and-D guy, the size, the length, he kind of checks all those boxes.
He absolutely does, and he's got 1 year of college experience, so he's a little bit, obviously, of a project. You're thinking of what he's going to be 2-3 years down the road, but there's no doubt he's got the physical profile of what this league specializes in now. Guys that do exactly what he does, which is guard at a very high level, multiple positions, and then be able to step out and extend the floor with his range. And that range will continue to improve as he continues to put the reps in. But right now, you see the athleticism, the size, and his willingness to defend all over the floor.
And with the 14th overall pick, Carter Bryant. Carter, you have 2 Summer League games under your belt. How would you describe the Summer League experience so far?
I mean, it's everything you dream of. So I think for myself, it's just growing, learning with everything. I mean, try not to get too high, get too low. I mean, these games aren't going to define your career. You see a lot of games that guys that had great games that end up not having careers that you would think, or guys that had terrible games that have great careers. So just try not to get too high or too low.
Already in 2 games, we've seen so many defensive highlights from you. What makes you such a tough defender?
I think just my willingness to just defend anybody. I don't care if you're 7 foot 280. I don't care if you're 6 foot 120 pounds. So I think for me, I just try to do whatever I can to win a basketball game, whatever the coaching staff needs me to do.
We appreciate the time, Carter. Best of luck.
I appreciate it. Thank you.
All right, so that was Carter Bryant before the game last night against the Philadelphia 76ers, talking about the defensive plays he had been able to make in Sacramento. And then he went out during the game and did this.
You see Bryant, how hard he just worked to deny Edwards the basketball coming off that down screen, and then doesn't miss a beat with the switch on the Mintz and pressures him.
And got the block, Tim.
And finishes it with his head on the rim and a block.
Boy, that's a clip and save for the defensive reel, no doubt. Carter Bryant putting on a clinic defensively in that last possession. Wow. He blew up that half-court set.
3 things on 1 possession, and this is how he finishes it off. Look how high he is. His head is literally level with the rim when he comes in here for this block. But prior to that, he blew up a down screen by denying Edwards, and then he pressured the ball into the backcourt to speed the Sixers up more than they wanted it.
And there's another block by Bryant. He's got 3 tonight. Make it 4. 5, no. But a foul underneath.
I mean, that is eye-opening athleticism that he's showing you right now.
He's got his own personal no-fly zone in there, Tim.
And the other thing, look, after this was over and the whistle occurred, right after that block, now here's the whistle. He clapped his hands together. He's frustrated. He didn't get that 5th block you were talking about right there. So that's a guy that clearly takes a lot of pride in what he's doing on that end of the floor.
Steve Jones and Tim Legler from ESPN calling that game last night. All of those blocks came in succession there for the young Carter Bryant, really showing himself at the defensive end of the floor. It's been great to see so far in this early start to his NBA career.
Yeah, again, listeners, that was unedited. So they were describing how in awe they were of him blowing up the pick and roll and then coming back to get the block off ball. And then while they were describing it, he had 2 more blocks and almost a third. So, yeah, he really – now, his stats, if you look at the box score, it may not jump off the page. But if you watched any of that, and especially that sequence, it was Dragon Ball unbelievably impressive. And that level of effort, when he poked the ball away, guys, if you didn't see the clip, listeners, he poked the ball away from that pick and roll and instantly sprinted into the backcourt to guard the defender 3/4 court away. I mean, he was just all over the ball.
When you lead the game in blocks as a wing player, it shows that your willingness to get into the paint rather than just guard the perimeter. And the one thing that the Spurs desperately want to find are those kind of defenders that, we have Wembanyama in the paint. He's going to be able to be that black hole for any guy that tries to get by our perimeter defense. But if you're willing to get in there and still provide that support, help keep Wemby out of foul trouble, with guys potentially going up into his chest and into his body to try and get those buckets over the top of him, which not a lot of guys are going to be able to do, but they're going to certainly try, at the very least, get him out of the game. Carter showing that willingness to get into the paint and block over the top, over the back of certain offensive players shows a level of dedication that the Spurs coaching staff and front office are going to take note of. Yeah, the shot wasn't there. He had the 1 3-point shot that was a bank off the glass. Really more luck than skill, but sometimes you're better off being lucky rather than skillful in situations like that. He'll eventually develop that 3 shot and be the 3-and-D player they are looking for. But having that defense right now, that's the hardest thing to coach. And having him just come out with that right off the bat is certainly going to help his chances of getting into the rotation.
And nobody's talking about his shooting last night because of what Cooper Flagg did.
Yeah.
So Cooper, if you didn't see Cooper Flagg, I think he was 5 for 20 the last I checked. Now he was all over the place again. Unbelievable young player. However, he himself said after the game it was the worst game he had ever played, is what he said. So yeah, Carter going 1 for 6 or whatever it wasn't necessarily the talk of the town yesterday.
All right, the Heat lost today in their debut in Las Vegas, 105-98 to the Atlanta Hawks. Keyshawn Johnson played 28 minutes in that game, 3 of 8 from the floor, 9 points, 3 rebounds, 3 assists for Keyshawn. It says, I don't know, are the rules different in Las Vegas? It says he had 8 personal fouls.
Yes.
Do they just allow you to have?
Yes, they have extra fouls given.
Okay, well, man, use them all. If you got 8, use them all. For sure. Pelle Larsson, 27 minutes, 3 of 10 from the floor, went 9 of 11 from the line. 16 points for Pelle, 3 assists, 2 rebounds. He had a steal, turned it over 3 times. Oumar Ballo did not get into that game. When do we know when the Blazers play?
That'll be 8 o'clock tonight, I
So
believe.
the Blazers will play tonight against the Golden State Warriors, 8 o'clock on ESPN2 at the Thomas & Mack Center if you want to check that out and see some Caleb Love in his debut in Las Vegas.
And the fouls, by the way, obviously are for a good reason. Because who's playing predominantly big minutes in this NBA Summer League? It's first and second round picks from this year and last year. So if a team's trying to evaluate what a player can do, and the refs are a little whistle happy, and that player fouls out with a minute to go in the second half, a minute to go in the first quarter for second quarter, then all of a sudden you don't have that extra time to. So they have 10 fouls, DK. It's 4 extra.
Jeez.
In before they're disqualified. So
that's
it gives
what
them
I needed
extra,
when I was playing basketball.
extra
10
bit
fouls.
of time.
10 fouls for sure. All right, more bad news for the Diamondbacks, and we'll get into our download here coming up after the top of the hour. But I thought I'd give you this before we went into the break. So yesterday was Jalen Beeks, the surprise reliever for the Diamondbacks. Yesterday was his 32nd birthday. You know what he got for his birthday? A trip to the disabled list or the injured list or whatever the heck they want to call it now. Diamondbacks have placed Jalen Beeks on the 15-day injured list with lower back inflammation. Now, this is retroactive to 3 days ago, July 18th. He's been replaced by Kendall Graveman, who's been reinstated from the 15-day injured list. I do not believe at this point, and I'll have to look, and we'll look this up in the break. I do not believe is there a single reliever left on this roster that started the season with the Diamondbacks. You've got Juan Murillo. He didn't start the season here. You got Andrew Saalfrank. He was reinstated from his suspension, so he didn't start the season here. Kendall Graveman, I don't believe he started the season here. Ginkel was hurt at the end of the beginning of the season. Or no, was he hurt at the beginning of the season or did he get hurt out? I think he was hurt at the beginning of the season. Then he came back. Then he got sent down. So he wasn't on the roster at the beginning of the season. Anthony DeSclafani, he wasn't here at the beginning of the year. John Curtis wasn't here at the end of the year. And Kyle Backus. So you got at least 7 relievers who were not on this roster at the beginning of the season. No Justin Martinez. No A.J. Puck. No now Jalen Beeks. No Shelby Miller. I mean, it has become a no man's land out there in the bullpen.
So I'm a huge believer in brevity. And so my question is, at the AAA level and AA level in those clubhouses, are they just popping off these party celebrations because it's our time? Like all these injuries up at the major club, we're going to get a shot.
Absolutely.
We're going to get up there. We're going to finally
everybody
our
wants
turn.
to get to the big leagues. So if now's your opportunity. That's what guys are waiting. I mean, I spent a lot of time in minor league baseball, 3 years at AAA. Guys are waiting for their. I mean, injuries is what usually gets you to the big leagues.
Who's the guy behind Cal Ripken for all those years? Isn't that like a famous story? Like it never got a chance.
Never going to get a chance. All right, Dragon Ball's here. He's got sports happening in Southern Arizona and around the world.
Well, it was tough sledding for Carter Bryant, as you heard. Again, he had his first official Summer League game here with the Spurs in the Summer League in Vegas. But the young man did have himself some nice glimmers on the court in his new pro squad.
7 on the shot clock. Bryant. Did he hit the glass on that?
Sure did.
Okay.
You see Bryant, how hard he just worked to deny Edwards the basketball coming off that downscreen and then doesn't miss a beat with the switch on the Mintz and pressures him.
And got the block, Tim.
And finishes it with his head on the rim and a block.
Again, that blown banked three-pointer, the lone shot Bryant hit, but he did show out on the defensive side of things, leading the game in blocks for both teams. Again, Summer League action continues for a number of Cats. We just mentioned about the Heat, but reminder that the Blazers may see Caleb Love suit up tonight for Portland as they take on Golden State. Elsewhere in the Summer League, it was an impressive showing for Cooper Flagg, though he certainly wouldn't tell you that after calling his first game as a Maverick, quote, one of the worst games he's ever had in his life. Finished the game with 10 points, going 5 of 21 from the field. Still managed to see his team come out on top of the win over Bronny James and the Lakers. Bronny James finishing with 8 points, going 2 of 8 from the field himself. And the Suns coaching staff continues to take shape as Tucson native Jesse Mermays now joins up as a top assistant coach for the team to work under Jamal Mosley for his time in Orlando Magic. Again, this is joining Jordan Ott's squad. And joining Mermays will be player development guru Mateen Cleaves, who played for Michigan State as a point guard back in the late 90s.
I made a joke, like, when's Mateen Cleaves going to join?
And he does. Another member of the Michigan State connection, Ford Suns owner Mat Ishbia, who were both, I believe, at campus around the same time. And I'm Dragon Ball with your 2020 Sports Update on Wildcats Radio 1290.
The jungle has moved afternoon, so grab your best Tucson tuxedo and join us on the Jim Rome Show weekdays from noon till 3 p.m. right here on the flagship home of your Arizona Wildcats, Wildcats Radio 1290.
From the Auto Nation, Honda and BMW of Tucson Traffic Center, it's Wildcats Radio 1290 traffic and weather together. Some slowing westbound on Ajo approaching Mission, also on the southbound I-19 frontage road approaching Irvington. Collisions that are reported 22nd Street near Wilma and also Cardinal and Valencia. And for your weather, 80 the low, 105 this weekend, and 105 now. I'm Cricket with your Wildcats Radio 1290 traffic and weather together.
This report is sponsored by Dell Technologies.
The new Dell AI PC with Intel Core Ultra helps you fast forward through busy work like editing images, summarizing meeting notes, and responding to Jim's long emails, leaving more time for you time. Get a new Dell AI PC starting at $699.99 at Dell.com/AI-PC.
Nobody covers your Cats like we do. With press conferences, coaches shows, and play-by-play.
It is over. Cats have won it.
We bring you all the stories, highlights, and analysis of your Arizona Wildcats. We are Wildcats Radio 1290.
Get your backyard summer ready with a custom pool from First Choice Pools. A backyard oasis built around you. First Choice is a full-service builder of beautiful in-ground pools and backyard designs for years of staycations. If you want to dive in this summer, now is the time to visit TucsonPoolBuilder.com. First Choice Pools for installs, renovation, remodeling, and repair. Get started today at TucsonPoolBuilder.com. Ask about our 60-day pool. To be summer ready, First Choice is the only choice.
Quick, she's over here. I don't know. I just found her like this.
Yeah, she's banged up, but she'll be fine.
Oh, thank God. What can I do?
Just need the keys. And, sir?
Yeah?
Your car's gonna be fine.
Thank you.
Mobile detailing from Recon Auto Detailing. Tired of wear and tear on your vehicle or just tired of cleaning it yourself? We'll come to you. Book with us online and see why we have over 1,100 five-star reviews. Recon Auto Detailing. ReconDetail.com.
It's time to talk Grizzly.
The air conditioner made specifically for Arizona summers.
Alaskan AC introduced the Grizzly a couple years ago, and the reviews are pouring in.
This one says, I love how quiet it is. I can hardly hear it come on, but I'm always comfortable.
Another person writes, finally an air conditioner that can withstand the desert heat and dust.
This one says, I like its fluffy fur and cute black nose.
Anyway, if it's time to upgrade your AC, you can't do better than the Grizzly.
Only available at Alaskan AC.
People love it.
Like this person who said, we live in an older home and the Grizzly keeps us comfortable in every room.
Or this guy, we live just outside of town and the dust is horrible. Glad we have an AC that can take it.
Or this one, he's so cuddly and has these adorable pads on his paws.
Gary, I think you're on a different webpage.
Gary, I think you're different.
Learn more about the Grizzly at AlaskanAC.com.
The countdown to Arizona football is on.
Fires the pass towards the back corner. Touchdown, Arizona. It was Hunter. Yeah, Chris Hunter.
When Chris Hunter and the Cats take the field on August 30th, you'll hear it right here on Wildcats Radio 1290.
My perfect day has sand, salt water, and friends. But my moderate to severe plaque psoriasis can take me out of the moment. Now I'm all in with clearer skin thanks to Skyrizi. Risankizumab Riza, a prescription-only 150 milligram injection for adults who are candidates for systemic or phototherapy. With Skyrizi, most people saw 90% clearer skin, and many were even 100% plaque-free at 4 months. Skyrizi is just 4 doses a year after 2 starter doses.
Don't use if allergic to Skyrizi. Serious allergic reactions, increased infections, or lower ability to fight them may occur. Before treatment, get checked for infections and tuberculosis. Tell your doctor about any flu-like symptoms or vaccines.
Thanks to Skyrizi, there's nothing on my skin, and that means everything. Ask your doctor about Skyrizi, the #1 dermatologist-prescribed biologic in psoriasis. Visit Skyrizi.com or call 1-866-SKYRIZI to learn more.
The roar of our engines, the pump of our heartbeats, the pedal to our metal, the sparks that ignite us, the pistons that push us, the passions that drive us. From the feelings that move us to the places that pull us on the roads that unite us. With nearly 6,000 stores and over 17,000 auto care centers, Napa has America's largest network of parts and care, here to keep you firing on all cylinders.
KCUB Tucson, a Cumulus media station. No one is talking Roadrunners, Sugar Skulls, and FC Tucson like us. We are Southern Arizona's #1 sports station, Wildcats Radio 1290.
DK on the sports tip. Wildcats Radio 1290.
Could the Diamondbacks win a series in San Diego?
First pitch to him. And Naylor swings, grounds it to the right side. Cronenworth has it at first base. He'll bring it himself, and the ball game is over. Suarez, for the second time this week, a 1-2-3 ninth inning against the Diamondbacks, picks up his major league leading 27th save of the season. And the Padres are in a 4-game split with Arizona as they win this one by a final of 4-3.
One of the few times in that series that they actually pitched to Josh Naylor. We'll get to that in a moment. 4-3 the final, series split. A really well-pitched series for the Arizona Diamondbacks, but could only get 2 wins out of it. And the offense provided for the Padres by one Manny Machado.
Manny Machado will lead off. Third time up against Eduardo Rodriguez. He's already doubled tonight. First pitch coming. Manny hacks it in the air to deep left field. Gurriel gonna watch this one. Gonna go! Manny Machado, a go-ahead homer. 16th of this season, and the Padres lead for the first time tonight. It's 3-2.
Eduardo Rodriguez, 4 innings, 4 earned runs, 8 hits, walked 2, struck out 3, gave up a couple of jacks in that ball game last night. Diamondbacks again lose 4-3, series split. They had a lot of opportunities in that game last night. They left a lot of guys on base, just could not get the 13 runners. 13 runners left on base last night for your Arizona Diamondbacks.
I call that a Lovello dozen.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And here is Torrey talking about not being able to get the big hit.
Yeah, it's fairly frustrating. I think we had the right guys in the right spot, ton of RBIs, ton of production. They just, they didn't get it done, and that's part of the game. That's what happens every once in a while. But we continue to build innings. We had a lot of opportunity, and we fought. We fought the entire time. There's a lot of positives to draw upon. But we did all we could to win the series. It just didn't happen.
I don't know what the final numbers were with runners in scoring position, but apparently this season the Diamondbacks are hitting .230 as a team. That's for the season with runners in scoring position. It has just not, again, this offense at times they can turn it on with the home runs, but when they need to get the big hit, they have been woeful to do so, and that's very frustrating. Now, I mentioned earlier, so the Padres kind of had an interesting philosophy. They did not want to – Josh Naylor, who's the first baseman for the Diamondbacks, originally came up with the Padres. They appeared to want to have nothing to do with him in this series because they intentionally walked him 3 times. 3 times with runners on base. In both of the games they won. These all happened in the games that they won. So that would have been the Tuesday night game. They intentionally walked him once with 2 on, or with 1 on, to put 2 on, to pitch to Gino Suarez, who only has like 29 home runs this season, and Gino struck out. And then last night, they did it twice. Intentionally walked Josh Naylor to pitch to Gino Suarez with runners on base. And Gino struck out and popped out. So all 3 times that they did this, it worked in this series. Afterward, Torrey on that philosophy.
Were you surprised that they intentionally walked Josh Naylor throughout the series to pitch to Gino, and also were you surprised that that worked?
Yes and yes. So I'll leave it at that. But look, it worked. Their manager took some chances, and might have been the difference in games and winning games. So they're both really good hitters. As you look up there, one's got 70-plus RBIs. One is probably, near the 60 RBI mark. So that's the heart of our production. There was a reverse split, and I didn't know the reasoning, but at the end of the day, he knew, and it worked, and you got to give him credit.
So in the third inning when they did it, they intentionally walked Naylor. That loaded the bases. So you had Suarez pitching hitting with the bases loaded and 2 outs, and he popped out to the shortstop. And then I mentioned they did it again. This was later in the 7th inning when they had runners at, again, the bases were loaded. Runners were second and third. They intentionally walked Naylor to load the bases, and Gino popped out.
That's pretty common, like if there's 1 out, right? If you got runners at second and third, you walk so you can get the double play.
Yeah. The second time was with 1 out. The first time they did last night was with 2 outs. But it worked. And I can remember the most interesting instance that I can remember that in baseball was the 1999 ALCS. And who was it? I think it was, I can't remember now. The Indians were playing the Red Sox, and they literally walked a guy. They pitched around this one hitter to get to, I can't, now I want to tell this story. I can't remember the names, but it worked. It worked twice. The guy hit a 3-run homer and a grand slam. It was one of those things where, you made the right move. Oh, they pitched around Nomar Garciaparra. It was Nomar Garciaparra. They pitched around him to get to, I forget the left-handed hitter's name that they had back in the late 90s, but they pitched around Nomar twice to get to the lefty, and the lefty hit a 3-run home run and a grand slam.
You got to play the numbers, right?
Yeah.
But they don't always work out.
Don't always work out, for sure. Torey Lovello on a well-played series, but one in which you only got a split.
This team is hungry, and they're fighting. We've been dealt some massive blows with some injuries over the past 3-4 weeks, and it's part of the game, and they're taking it right in stride, and they believe they can go out there and win every single baseball game. And when we do things the way we did this particular series against a really good Padre team, I'm proud of these guys. We just got to finish it off. To win series, there's small margins. There's very small things that we got to do to close up that gap and potentially win all 4 of these games. But we'll figure out that piece of the puzzle.
There you go. It was Troy O'Leary. That was the guy that I was thinking of. They pitched around Nomar to get to Troy O'Leary, and dude drove in 7 runs in a deciding Game 5. It was the ALDS. I think I said it was the ALCS. It was the ALDS. And that was the game in which, if you'll remember, Pedro Martinez was hurt and came out of the bullpen and pitched 6 no-hit innings to end the Indian season.
I would have thought it was Mo Vaughn. If you were putting it on the the late 90s, Mo Vaughn would have been the guy I thought of with you said lefty specifically.
Right.
So,
and you know what's funny? What's hilarious is, so that was 1999, and then in 2005, 6 or 7, another player from that team ended up on our Memphis teams in Memphis, Brian Daubach. I don't know if you remember Brian Daubach. Mm-hmm. And I told him that story. I was like, yeah, Brian, I remember that game in 1999, Game 5, where I was doing a pregame interview with him when you guys pitched around Nomar. The Indians pitched around Nomar twice to get to Troy O'Leary. And he's like, well, wait, what? You don't remember I got 3 hits in that game? Oh, yes, that's right. You did go 3 for 5 in that game.
My favorite intentional walk guy is Jeff Kent.
Oh, yeah.
He was the one who batted behind Barry Bonds the year he got intentionally walked 140 times, right?
Oh, my God.
Nobody got more mad about it than Jeff Kent did.
Oh, memories of the game. Cricket, memories of the game. Do you have any memories of any game you used to play or anything like that? Memories of the game? No?
I like to watch my niece play soccer.
That's right. How's that going?
She's very animated when she gets a goal. She reminds me of like Jim Carrey, that like slapstick, kind of like animated movements. Yeah.
Okay.
Excited,
Wow.
just excited. She's kind of like.
And how old is she now? 12?
She's going to be 13 on Monday.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
So birthday coming up. What's Auntie? Do you want to, what do you got something nice planned for her? Or?
Well, we're going to do Sunday. We're going to do a pool party, pizza. She loves fruit. She wants fruit instead of a cake, but we're going to get a cake for her guests anyway.
Okay.
So.
What kind of pizza?
Probably, I think the Costco pizzas.
Okay.
Like the big giant. I think, do they do pepperoni and cheese or something? Yeah. So Costco
and what's her name?
Pizza, Kira.
So happy birthday, Kira.
I call her Kiki.
Kiki. Happy birthday, Kiki. Happy 13th birthday. Welcome to your teen years. And try not to be a menace to all the adults in your life.
Not possible.
She's a good kid. She's a really good kid.
Well, she's a menace to defenders, apparently, because she scores a lot of goals out there.
What high school are we going to see her playing at eventually?
CDO.
Oh, that's a good program. That's a good program.
And just like that, the magic is gone for me. I'm a Miranda guy. So.
Cricket is back to tell you what is happening here in Southern Arizona on this hot weekend.
Chillin' at the Chul Friday and Saturday nights happens at Tohono Chul from 6 p.m. to 9 p.m. Listen to this tonight. The event is the Silent Adventure Silent Disco. $25 for adults, $15 for kids to participate in that.
Where's that at?
At the Tohono Chul.
Oh, they're at Tohono Chul again.
Yeah, so your Silent Adventure peeps will be there. Tomorrow night, cool summer nights at the Arizona Sonora Desert Museum every Saturday night through August. Night Ops is tomorrow night at FEMA Air and Space Museum. I think last year they used to call that Night Wings. So same idea, get to check out the museum at night. And I wanted to remind you again, Dog Days of Summer tomorrow at FEMA Animal Care Center with free pet adoptions and extended hours. 10 a.m. to 7 p.m. at PAC at Silver Bell in Sweetwater.
All right, so we got Cricket doing Kiki's birthday, J-Dub weekend, top thing weekend coming up.
I think we may try to take a trip. I'm not sure if it's going to be maybe
vacation,
Sedona, someplace that's a little cooler than we are now.
All right, there you go, Mr. Dragon Ball.
I've got to. I'm gonna have to go ahead and make an early trip to the movies on Sunday because we're gonna see the new Jurassic Park film. Myself, the girlfriend, and one of her friends and their kid. He's a big fan of dinosaurs, so we're gonna be seeing what the new one's all about. I hear they did some things with my guy, the Spinosaurus, so I'm interested to see how they changed him up.
Back to the roots, right? And ScarJo's taking over the franchise. So we'll see where that goes.
All right, and I'm going to go see Superman tomorrow, which was filmed in Cleveland, Ohio.
You got to see
it. I've already seen some of the previews and recognized a few of the places, so it should be fun. For sure. All right, Cricket, everybody, have a great weekend, and getting you home every 20 minutes on the fives with your traffic and your weather.
Collision reported Oracle near Glen, and by the way, this is from the AutoNation Honda and BMW of Tucson Traffic Center. Collision on Oracle near Glen, and that big improvement project continues on Grant, east of Country Club to east of Columbus, and on Monday, Columbus Boulevard south of Grant Road will close. 80 reported as the overnight low tonight, 105 this weekend, 105 right now. And by the way, 20% chance of rain Tuesday, 30% chance of rain on Wednesday. And I'm Cricket with your Wildcats Radio, 1290 traffic and weather together.
This report is sponsored by Amazon Prime Day. Okay, there's some good news and some great news. The good news is that Amazon Prime Day is here. The great news? This year, you'll have 4 days to find deals on all of your favorite things. Shop Prime Day now through July 11th.
The jungle has moved afternoon, so grab your best Tucson tuxedo and join us on the Jim Rome Show weekdays from noon till 3 p.m. right here on the flagship home of your Arizona Wildcats, Wildcats Radio 1290.
Sean Furrier for Jack Furrier Tire and Auto Care. If you're driving right now, you may not be thinking about your tires, but chances are they've been tested before. Like that time you swerved to avoid the stray shopping cart that rolled into the street from nowhere? Or when you had a green light but did some extreme braking because another driver decided to turn left in front of you? And we've all had to navigate monsoon downpours that turned our streets into Arizona's largest slip and slide. At Jack Furrier's, we've helped Arizona drivers navigate these extreme moments for over 60 years with the right tires, the best steel, and a huge in-stock selection of the brands you trust. And now's the time to save big with the most rebates we've seen all year on the brands you love, like Michelin, Cooper, and Uniroyal tires, with up to $100 back all month long. And Jack Furrier cardholders get back another $30. Check out jackfurriers.com for details on all our sizzling summer savings. So for all those critical moments where your tires make the difference, check out Jack Furrier Tire and Auto Care.
O'Reilly.
Save
money on your next full synthetic oil change at O'Reilly Auto Parts. Get a $15 prepaid MasterCard after rebate when you buy 5 quarts of Mobil 1 full synthetic motor oil for just $35.95. We can recommend all the oil change supplies you need. Shop your local O'Reilly Auto Parts store or O'ReillyAuto.com.
O'Reilly Auto Parts. Downy Rinse and Refresh. Break up with stinky clothes.
Rinse it out. Every now and then I get a little bit tired of the stinks that just will never come out. Oh, Downy in the rinse straight. Every now and then I rinse it out. One wash and it delivers. One wash, it smells so clean. Downy Rinse and Refresh, it's a dream.
Downy Rinse and Refresh. Fights odor in just one wash. Guaranteed.
Must qualify for enrollment. Results may vary.
We all hear the radio ads about the IRS. They tell you to be afraid, to be scared, and they try to frighten you into calling. I'm not here to do that. Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000, $50,000, or $500,000, we have a solution. It doesn't matter if you're sitting in your car, at work, or with your kids. No matter where you are, call now. 800-575-8695. Don't lose hope. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS.
Generous programs are now available that can give you a fresh start.
Our passion is taxes and helping individuals fix their IRS problems.
We have over 1,000 5-star reviews on Google and an A+ with the Better Business Bureau.
You don't need to be afraid of the IRS any longer. End your tax nightmare today by visiting us online at TRA.com
or call 800-575-8695. That's 800-575-8695.
Tax Relief Advocates. Real solutions for real people.
We are getting the word out. Right Way is the best choice for plumbing, not just for maintenance and installation, but for sewer and drain service as well. Whether it's leaking, no hot water, slow drains, clogged toilets, or tree roots in the sewer line, we do it the right way. We also offer Trent's sewer repairs to save customers time and money.
For a limited time, you can save 10% off any repairs or product installation. Call or text 520-276-2775 to book your free estimate or visit rightwayac.com today. If it's worth doing, do it the right way.
Hey, it's David Kelly, DK on the Sports Tip. Don't forget to download the Wildcats Radio 1290 app. It slaps. We've got full coverage of the Wildcats, the Suns, the Cardinals, the Diamondbacks, Pima College. Download the Wildcats Radio 1290 app today.
Westwood One presents Today in Women's Sports. Make the most of summer with stylish looks from Kohl's and Kohl's.com, where families come first. Amanda Anasimova's magical Wimbledon run continues. On Thursday, she defeated Aryna Sabalenka, the top-ranked tennis player in the world, in a 3-set thriller, advancing to her first Grand Slam final. In 2023, Anisimova stepped away from tennis for mental health reasons. Her ranking dropped outside the top 400 at the time. Since then, she has built herself back into a contender, and now the 23-year-old is the youngest American woman to reach the Wimbledon final since Serena Williams in 2004.
That's a really special message that I think I've been able to show. Just me being able to prove that, you can get back to the top if you prioritize yourself. So that's been incredibly special to me. And yeah, it means a lot.
Anisimova will take on Polish star Iga Świątek in the final on Saturday. With Today in Women's Sports, I'm Maggie Gray on Westwood One.
This summer with Kohl's, you can rack up the compliments. Like, where'd you get that dress? Tell me all your makeup secrets. Or, ooh, my husband needs that polo in every color. Because Kohl's has what you need. Cute dresses, Sephora essentials, stylish polos, comfy kids clothes, and more. Plus, take 20% off some of your faves. Yep, cue the compliments with Kohl's. Select styles, some exclusions apply. Offer ends July 20th. Coupons and Kohl's Cash do not apply to Sephora. See store or Kohls.com for details.
Some people just know they can save hundreds on home and auto insurance by checking Allstate first. Like to check your house sitter has the new code first, before leaving for vacation.
System lockout.
But that's the code!
Contacting authorities.
I'm out of here.
Oh, seriously, the car too?
Yeah, checking first is smart. So check Allstate first for a home and auto bundle that could save you hundreds. You're in good hands with Allstate.
Not available in every state. Potential savings vary. Allstate Vehicle and Property Insurance Company and affiliates, Northbrook, Illinois.
It's time to talk Grizzly.
The air conditioner made specifically for Arizona summers.
Alaskan AC introduced the Grizzly a couple years ago, and the reviews are pouring in.
This one says, I love how quiet it is. I can hardly hear it come on, but I'm always comfortable.
Another person writes, finally an air conditioner that can withstand the desert heat and dust.
This one says, I like its fluffy fur and cute black nose.
Anyway, if it's time to upgrade your AC, you can't do better than the Grizzly.
Only available at Alaskan AC.
People love it.
Like this person who said, we live in an older home and the Grizzly keeps us comfortable in every room.
Or this guy. We live just outside of town and the dust is horrible. Glad we have an AC that can take it.
Or this one. He's so cuddly and has these adorable pads on his paws.
Gary, I think you're on a different webpage.
Gary, I think you're different.
Learn more about the Grizzly at AlaskanAC.com.
DK on the Sports Tip. Wildcats Radio 1290.
520-848-1290 is the number to get in on the show. We are with you until 6 o'clock. We'll be back on Monday for another full 3 hours. Talked a lot this week about Big 12 football media days. Let's talk about it with somebody that was actually there in Frisco, Texas. Jordan Ham from Sports 360 AZ joins us now. And Jordan, I believe you were in Las Vegas last year, and then you were down in Frisco this year. What were the differences between the two locations, outside the fact that there's not a strip with a lot of casinos in Frisco, Texas?
Yeah, that minor difference. I think it was just like last year, it was so much of, at least from our perspective as media, the 4 Pac-12 teams making the move to the Big 12, it was just like, okay, this is kind of the first impression of this new conference. What's this going to look like? And now, you're a bit more familiar with it. I think both years it brought a great energy to it. And obviously they like to kind of try to do things up big. And, last year it was in the Raiders Stadium, and this year it's at the Star where the Cowboys practice. And, I've been there before for various events, and it's a great location and a great way to kind of get these 8 teams each day together. So, I feel like it was a bit of a similar vibe. I'm always going to be partial to Vegas, soft spot in my heart with the Pac-12 ties and that sort of thing. So, but yeah, overall, I think both times it was a good event.
Sports 360 AZ's Jordan Ham is our guest. So, Jordan, give me your top takeaway from the Arizona State Sun Devils first. And the big question we've been asking this week is can Sam Levitt be the same quarterback without a bruising running back like Cam Scadaboo behind him to take the pressure off?
Yeah, I mean, that's the thing, really, with Sam Levitt, with this entire ASU program. They're not going to sneak up on anybody this year. Last year, they were picked dead last in the conference, and they were able to really go on a crazy hot streak and really kind of show what they're all about. But now Sam Levitt's a known name. Jordan Tyson's a known name. You're hearing first-round picks. You're hearing, award season already for them. So how does that really kind of come to fruition for them? And it's really interesting because Kenny Dillingham is actually a really big fan of the show Survivor. And we've talked about it in the past and, done some interviews. I'm a fan myself. But the analogy he kept using this offseason is, are you going to, when you're trying to make your fire, are you going to have a spark right away and have it burn out? Or are you going to build something and that, can sustain the weather and the wind and everything like that? So that's really been a focus for them. They don't want to be the flash in the pan. They want this to be sustainable. A lot of pressure right now on Sam Levitt. I think that mentally he comes from an athletic family, and I think he would be able to handle that. But, I mean, look at it last year, too. There were quite a few games, one-score games, where the Sun Devils were able to pull it out. And, this conference is the conference of chaos. So can they survive any of those crazy stray games or any of those games where maybe, a quote-unquote lower tier team comes in and has a really good day? Can they survive that? So I think that's the big question for them right now. They've done just about everything right that they can this offseason. Everybody that could return did. So now it's a matter of keeping the foot on the gas, not, taking in all that praise all off season and continuing to focus at the goal at hand.
And I want to follow up on something you just said there, Jordan, because you said basically, ASU, didn't, sneak up on people last year because they were picked to finish last. Nobody really had much respect for them. We don't know who's picked to finish last this year because they took the poll away. But what I want to ask you is, you obviously follow this program pretty closely. Did you think they were the worst team going in last year? Did you think they were?
No, I think there was the least known about them. And that's where these preseason polls can get a little hairy, is Sam Levitt was unproven. Cam Scadaboo had a nice year the previous year. But even like some of their big-time defensive guys, Xavier Alford hadn't played the year prior. Clayton Smith was a guy that had to battle injuries, and those were a couple of the really crucial guys. So, you look at the preseason team, the all-conference team, you look at the preseason rankings, it's really about who has the most known quantities on their team. It's not so much necessarily who's the best. It's almost which team do we know the most about? Typically, that's where they're going to go kind of in the top half. But no, going in, I think I said it preseason, bet the over on the win total, because it felt like this was a team that, had a lot more talent than they were given credit for. It was just they didn't have a chance to prove it yet at the Power 4 level.
Oh, so then I'll kind of flip that into the Arizona Wildcats then. When you look at this team, do you see similarities that maybe you saw in that ASU team? I see this, because the books, the books don't have a very high opinion of Arizona. They think they're going to be in the bottom 3. But when you look at the Wildcats, do you say, well, I like this. Maybe they're not going to be as bad as people think they're going to be?
Yeah, I think that they will outperform expectations. You have Noah Fafita coming in for essentially his 3rd year as a starter. And you also have Seth Dagey in there right now. And, to hear just the praise that Dagey has gotten, not only with the schematics, but the mindset that he's been able to bring of just like every drive, it's we're going to score and we're going to score a touchdown. And you guys are going to try to stop us, and you're going to have a hard time doing so. I think that's resonated with a lot of people. Obviously, there's not going to be a T-Mac on this team, but I do like some of the additions that they brought in at the wide receiver position. Luke Wysong, U of A fans saw him on the other side of the field when he was playing for New Mexico, and he had a great game. Trey Spivey is one that, if you're from Arizona, you remember him making plays for Hamilton, and he had a couple nice catches for Kansas State against Arizona State last year. So that's a group I really like. I think with U of A, it's really going to come down to the trenches. Is they had a ton of guys come in on the offensive line, on the defensive line. If they can help control that offensive line and defensive line a little bit more than they were able to last year, Noah Fafita is going to have a lot more time, and this, I think, offense is really going to flow. So I think there is a lot to like, and it just feels like they know what their culture is. Last offseason, they had to play defense virtually the entire time. I don't think they could really coach guys necessarily all that hard for fear that they might jump in the portal because they didn't have established relationships with a lot of those guys. A decent amount of guys left, a decent amount of depth guys left, but they now have guys. I feel like Coach Brennan's fingerprints are all over this program now, where there's much more of an identity than before. It was, hey, we have this talent. Let's just try to keep it together and make it work, and let's build the plane while we're flying it.
Yeah, I loved how he said that we spent half the season kissing people's asses last year trying to get them to stay. I was like, whoa. Brent Brennan, okay, a different Brent Brennan. Now they got mad at me when I talked about Jed Fish cussing in the second year, but now we're kind of seeing a different Brent Brennan as well. Jordan Ham joining us, Sports 360 AZ. Now, if I'm not mistaken, Jordan, you were out at the Elite 11, correct, and saw Oscar Rios out there?
Yeah, was able to be out there a couple weeks ago and see him, and a lot of Arizona ties. You had Jake Fetty, the ASU commit. Oscar Rios was the U of A target at the time, and then he became the commit just a week after. And then Tate Reynolds, the Clemson commit, who plays up at Queen Creek High School, and Oscar really impressed me. Not only with what he was doing on the field. He was really accurate. You can see the length that he has. I kind of feel like he's almost built a little bit like Mikal Bridges, where he just has these long arms and these long limbs where, if he were to tuck and run for try to get a first down, he only needs to take a couple steps to really get there once he gets going. But also just in talking to him, I think there's a maturity to him. He takes a lot of pride in, being a leader and being a quarterback and being a Latino quarterback. That's something that's important to him that, he said there's not a lot of guys that are Latino that are in the position he is. So he takes a lot of pride in that and wants to be a role model and that sort of thing. So it was really cool to get caught up with him, meet him for the first time, and he's certainly impressed on the field as well.
There you go. That's always good to hear. Oscar Rios, quarterback, class of 26 out of Southern California, who has inked to, or committed at least, to be an Arizona Wildcat moving forward. But it is college football. We never know what's going to happen. I want to ask you one additional question in terms of the Big 12 media days. A lot of talk. We talked yesterday about just the comments that Kalani Sitake made about scheduling, and he believes that all the power conferences should play the power conferences. I said I'm not necessarily against that, but I do think that there's some value for the game in keeping those relationships of being able to play games against maybe the FCS school that's in your state. We see Arizona and Arizona State both play NAU, and I would not want to see something like that go away for the benefit of Northern Arizona. I think that's important for them, but it's also important for the health of the game. And I think across a lot of these states, I am from Ohio, and I've routinely, seen Ohio State play Kent State and some of those other schools. What are your thoughts on maybe what the future of non-conference scheduling is going to look like?
Yeah, I think a lot of it's going to come down to how the CFP committee views, quality wins and the strength of schedule and everything that comes with that. I agree with you. I think, for lack of a better term, a lot of them are the directional schools. That a lot of times that can help really with budgetarily, where they're getting a pretty big check to go. Unfortunately for them, more often than not, to go get their teeth kicked in. But it's a tune-up game on one end for a Power 4, Power 5. On the other end, it's a way for some of these smaller schools, number one, to get exposure, and number two, to be able to, help keep things afloat. And we hear so much about all these changes to college athletics and how are the budgets going to be able to stay in check. This is an opportunity for them to be able to do that. So I personally like having one of those games at the beginning of the year. Now, when we get to the SEC, where it's November 15th, and all of a sudden it's this tiny school going up against Alabama so they can get tuned up for the Iron Bowl, I don't necessarily love that. But, if it is to kind of kick off the season and get going, then that can really be a good litmus test for both of those teams. But then I want to see also some big matchups here in the first couple weeks.
Right.
And I think teams should be rewarded for trying to go out and schedule a quality opponent. Now, it also gets tough because so much of this is already scheduled out, where it's 10 years from now, is this school actually going to be where they're at currently? Who the heck knows? But there's a lot of challenges that go with it. But I think there is a way to kind of strike that balance.
Yeah, it's those late season games like that where you've got a Power 4 team playing a small FCS school. There's those. If I was going to make one rule, I'd say you got to make sure if you're going to play a game like that, it's got to be in the first 4 weeks. You can't be playing that game in mid-November or something of that nature. Jordan, always appreciate the chance to talk to you. Look forward to doing it again as we get this college football season rolling.
Absolutely. Thanks for having me on.
Jordan Ham, Sports 360 AZ. Be sure you follow them. They have a great show with Jordan and company up there. It's a little bit harder to find now that they are not on Fox Sports Arizona anymore, but still a great. I believe they're on the same channel that shows. I forget what it is here on the Cox side. I'll get that information for you so you can know where to find Sports 360 AZ. But good stuff that they give you.
Sports360az.com.
Yeah, there you go. That's the website for sure. You can see everything. All the stories are always up on their website, all the coverage and everything else, and on their social media platforms as well. DK on the sports tip. One segment to go. We'll have our Desert Diamond Casino replay for you coming up. Cricket getting you home every 20 minutes on the fives with your traffic and your weather.
From the Auto Nation Honda and BMW of Tucson Traffic Center, this is Wildcats Radio 1290 traffic. With some usual slowdowns westbound on Ajo Way approaching Mission Road. Also that big closure downtown. 6th Street still closed between Stone Avenue and Church Avenue and closed to all traffic until the end of this year. And for your weather, 80 the low, 105 this weekend. There's a 20% chance of showers on Tuesday, 30% chance of rain on Wednesday, 105 now. I'm Cricket with your Wildcats Radio 1290 traffic and weather together.
Discover luxury at BMW of Tucson, your premier BMW dealership. Explore our extensive inventory, lease specials, and state-of-the-art service. Visit us at the Tucson Auto Mall or at bmwoftucson.com today.
This report is sponsored by Dairy Queen. It's cake batter. It's cookie dough. It's the new Superman Cake Batter Cookie Dough Blizzard treat. Now at participating DQ locations for a limited time. Fly in today for this cosmic collision of flavor. And don't miss Superman, only in theaters July 11th. DQ. Happy tastes good.
This summer, try the new Strato Frappuccino blended beverage at Starbucks. It's the classic blended iced coffee you know and love, now topped with a creamy layer of handcrafted brown sugar cold foam. Available for a limited time. Your Strato Frappuccino is ready at Starbucks.
Don't miss out on any of the action.
7-7 bottom of the ninth. Wildcats would love to end it right here.
As the University of Arizona takes on the Big 12 Conference.
2-2, and it's lined to left for a base hit. Bryfogel's going to be waved around third. Here comes the throw from Hartman. It's headed home. He slides. He's safe, and the Wildcats have won it. Mekalakis, RBI single.
You're listening to the flagship home of Arizona Wildcats athletics. Wildcats Radio 1290.
Stay connected while you're on the go with the Wildcats Radio 1290 app. Listen to Arizona Wildcats play-by-play. Get the latest news on your teams and more, all in one place. Download Wildcats Radio 1290 app from the App Store or Google Play today. Wildcats Radio 1290 app is sponsored by Goodfellas Home Solutions.
For quality, honesty, and service you can count on, call Goodfellas Home Solutions. Because when you need help around the house, we can fix it. Need a kitchen or bathroom makeover? Dealing with a clogged drain, leaky faucet, or sewer issue? We'll take care of it fast. We handle just about anything under your roof. Goodfellas Home Solutions. GoodfellasAC.com.
The American Red Cross is asking to give blood or platelets now to help people counting on life-saving medical care. Type O blood is especially needed on hospital shelves. It's the most common blood type and can be critical in emergencies. If you don't know your blood type, that's okay. You'll learn it after your donation, and donors of all blood types can make a tremendous difference. Make an appointment to give today. Use the Red Cross Blood Donor app, visit redcrossblood.org, or call 1-800-RED-CROSS to book your donation.
With Alaskan AC service guarantee, we'll arrive in one day or your repair is free.
That's right.
What's right?
What the singing people just said.
Gary, you have your earbuds in. I don't know what you're hearing.
Oh, this.
With Alaskan AC service guarantee, we'll arrive in one day or your repair is free.
That's right.
Hi, guys. What's right?
That I have my earbuds in.
No, you don't.
We were listening to the singing people.
Maybe I should go out and come back in again.
It's the thing about how we arrive in one day or your repair is free.
Oh, right. It's the Alaskan AC guarantee, so people aren't left waiting for a repairman. Don't we have singing people for that?
Yes, here, use my earbuds.
Gross.
Just play it, Gary.
With Alaskan AC service guarantee, we'll arrive in one day or your repair is free.
That's right.
I know, right?
Right. I'm glad we had this meeting.
AlaskanAC.com.
Progressive knows when you're in your RV, you're already on vacation. That's when you become Vacation You, who just camped where there's absolutely no shade. Even though regular you burns easily. In fact, Vacation You burns too, but is too stubborn to admit it, which is why regular you gets in trouble at the dermatologist, because Vacation You doesn't do doctors. So bundle your RV with your home or auto policy and earn an automatic discount from Progressive. And spend the savings on the both of you.
Progressive Casualty Insurance Company affiliates and other insurers. Not available in all states or situations.
ZipRecruiter is the place. ZipRecruiter is the place for talented teachers, savvy software developers, and master mixologists. ZipRecruiter is the place where you meet all these people and more. That's because ZipRecruiter is the place for job seekers who are looking for new opportunities. In fact, ZipRecruiter helps 10 million people with their job search every day, so you can find the right candidates right away. Try ZipRecruiter for free at ziprecruiter.com/free. That's ziprecruiter.com/free.
This is a Sports Machine, Sean Levine, with a Sports Minute, sponsored by Metal Supermarkets, the convenience stores for metal. Find a store at metalsupermarkets.com. Football got rid of the Pro Bowl, and I get it. It's a very violent sport, and nobody cared. But college sports don't have an all-star game. What I'm getting at is, baseball, it's time. Give us a list, maybe give the guys a little bit of money, call them all-stars, have the home run derby. But do we really need an all-star game? I'm the Sports Machine, Sean Levine.
When you've got real work to do, Metal Supermarkets will help you get it done fast. With a huge variety of metals in stock, we can help no matter what job comes your way. And all it takes is a few clicks. We make buying metal online easy so you can spend less time shopping and more time getting things done. Metal Supermarkets, the convenience stores for metal. Place an order online today at metalsupermarkets.com.
If you could hear Old Spice Fiji Antiperspirant, what would it sound like? First, you'd start with Fiji Antiperspirant's amazing scent of palm trees. Add pure notes of fresh coconut and layer on 24/7 odor and sweat protection. You won't hear any dyes or parabens because with Fiji, you won't have any. So while your regular antiperspirant sounds like this, Old Spice Fiji sounds like this. Sounds like it smells amazing.
DK on the Sports Tip. Wildcats Radio 1290.
Final segment of the show. So you remember our BetMGM network play for today? Tigers with Tarek Skubal minus 1.5 runs in the first 5 innings. Remember that? Seattle 4-1 in the 6th. We cannot win anything. Not a damn thing. Skubal gives up 4 runs earned on 4 hits, 2 walks in 5 innings. That's got to be his worst outing of the season. Tarek Skubal giving up 4 runs. I guarantee you that has not happened this year. Let's look at it. Okay, so he did give up 4 runs 2 weeks ago against the A's. And he gave up 5 runs on May 4th against the Red Sox. So it has happened. And he gave up 4 runs in the first start of the year against the Dodgers. Tarek Skubal, after shutting out the Indians for 7 innings, thank you very much, last weekend, gives up 4 runs in 5 innings. And we can just mark that one as a loss. So now we're about $230 in the hole, with the Blue Jays and A's, the only thing that can save us for $8 coming up a little bit later. 520-848.
Don't put your keys in there.
Don't put your keys on the table, for sure, because you will definitely lose your money listening to us promote our partners at BetMGM Network. I know I'm going to get in trouble from somebody about that.
Streaks go both ways. Like, it could be the exact opposite starting next season.
We'll see. This is the first bad season we've had. This is the second 162 bet season we've tracked. We've had a couple 82 bet seasons. We kind of fluctuate between the basketball and the baseball type scheduling. So we'll see. The next one, I think we'll probably, since we're still in baseball, we'll probably do another 162 to come up. And then once we get into the fall, we'll do 82 after that. Let's give you your speaking of casinos, let's give you your Desert Diamond Casino replay. It is brought to you by Desert Diamond Casino Sportsbook. It is Arizona's best bet. Don't put your keys on the table out there, however, as J-Dub would like to say. I had a chance to talk to Dwayne Rankin earlier, the beat writer for your Phoenix Suns at the Arizona Republic. And we were talking to Dwayne about what this all is going to look like now for the Suns with Devin Booker having re-signed an extension, a new head coach, a new GM, and an owner who has changed coaches 4 times in 4 years.
We're looking at a franchise that's trying to create a new identity in terms of how they play. They went from relying on 3 stars to create a lot of offense and weren't exactly a great defensive team. Correction, they were a bad defensive team. They're going from that to trying to build themselves around being this defensive-minded, competitive, get out. Now look, it's all here. It's all, quite frankly, it's all talk right now. You got to see how that plays out on the court. Then you got to see what kind of roster they end up coming up with. But at the end of the day, that's supposed to be the plan. Now, if we're 3 months into the season and they don't have that and they're losing, then you can say, okay, wow, this team is whatever. Or it is working. They are being more competitive because, quite frankly, they got blown out a lot last year. I mean, with some lopsided scores they experienced last year. So, you want to see can they be a more competitive team on a night-to-night basis? And this is truly, I would say this is truly Devin's team, like through and through. Like I know he's been the face of the league, face of the team, the franchise player, but I think Chris Paul was the leader of the team when Chris was here, and I think Kevin was the best player. So a lot of it gravitated to him when they won or lost. It was on him. Like, what's going on? You're supposed to be X, Y, and Z. Or, wow, Kevin Durant can still play. So now, no Kevin, likely no Brad moving forward. This is Devin, and it's on him now to 10 years in the league, going to his 11th year, to take this franchise into the next 4, 5, 6 years. With the contract going through the 2029, 30. I'm looking at the extension. So, yeah, so I'm curious to see where it goes. But whether it's positive or negative is not championship. That is for certain.
So, well, then let me circle then back around to what you just said there as that relates to Devin Booker. He's okay with that? He's okay with the fact that now you're the guy now, but we don't have a team set up to get to the postseason, maybe not get to the postseason, definitely not get to a championship for several years.
No, not several. No, let's I didn't say several.
Okay.
I said this year.
Okay.
This year. All right. We're not talking about several years. We're talking about this year, them not being a championship team. I mean, looking at what's out there, they wouldn't be able to put together a team that could compete with OKC or Denver or Minnesota or even Houston for that matter. We're talking, again, get under the apron first. If they can get under the apron, then they can bring in better players because you can pay players more money. That's the first thing. You can have more flexibility with your dollars in terms of how you spend them. Ishbia spent a lot of money and it hasn't resulted in championships, in part because he spent it on 3 players that didn't fit and didn't play a lot of games together. So now they can utilize the money better. And they thought you got to be thinking, okay, the rookie that they brought in, each have a chance to be impact players. And then you're looking at how they fill it out with Jalen Green and Dylan Brooks. And you want to see what they do with this roster. And then you want to see, do they keep the roster? Do they keep the coach? You just mentioned 4 coaches. It'll be 4 coaches in 4 years. I mean, you just can't. You can't fire the coach after this season. I don't care how it goes. I mean, if you're doing that, then you're just completely throwing out this whole idea of trying to be aligned as a franchise. Because the whole idea of bringing in somebody like Jordan is to give him a chance to build and create a culture that they can build upon. You're not going to do that. Keep hiring new coach after new coach after new coach after new coach. So you got to keep the coach. So that's what I mean. Like, are they going to do all those things and realize, okay, you know what? This year, we can't see ourselves being a team that competes for a title. But we were building something so in the future they can be. And Devin, as far as whether he's cool with it or not, I think it's a matter of, hey, look, I'm going to follow this plan here. Okay, y'all got this plan? All right, I'll roll with this plan. If he wasn't rolling with it, you're not putting yourself in that, getting that extension. So I'm gonna buy into this plan and see what y'all come up with. I didn't made it. I didn't have a say on who was hired as the coach. So you should keep the coach more than a year. So we'll see how all that plays.
That is your Desert Diamond Casino replay. Dwayne Rankin breaking down the future of your Phoenix Suns. It's brought to you by Desert Diamond Casino Sportsbook. It is Arizona's best bet. I want Dwayne to write the story about the fact that I still can't watch the Suns games down here on the north side of Tucson. That's the story I want from Dwayne Rankin to get that fixed. They need to get that fixed this offseason so all the fans down here can see the team play on both sides of town. That would be nice. All right, gentlemen, final thoughts on this week. Final major takeaway from this week?
Don't make the band so loud next year at Big 12 Media Days.
Frisco
Don't make the band so loud. Okay.
Yeah, Frisco seems like a good spot, but definitely could use a little bit more of a sound editor when you're putting things together.
And I think my takeaway was what I said there. Brenton Brennan getting a little salty about last year and the team he's got and the changes he had to make and people buying in, and we'll see how it all pans out. We'll talk a lot more about Arizona Wildcats football coming up over the course of the next 2 weeks as
Also,
we get you
DK,
set for the start of spring or fall practice.
DK, I need to teach you how to go ahead and watch games online.
Oh, there. Well, you can't. How do you, well, oh,
do
that's
it
right.
off air
You
because
have
do it
like,
off air. Yeah, I'll let you know.
You have the
I got the connections.
The connections, right? You got the connections. You and my guy Jim Monaco.
Say no more.
Say no
have
more.
The connections. All right. Thanks to everybody that joined us. A lot of folks on the show today. Appreciate Dustin DePirac from the Indianapolis Star, Dwayne Rankin from the Arizona Republic, Paul Cagliari from FC Tucson Forward, and Jordan Ham from Sports 360 AD. For Dragon Ball, for cricket, for JW Madden, my name is David Kelly. That's our time for tonight. Have a great weekend, everybody. Appreciate you and your time as well. DK on the Sports Tip. We'll talk to you Monday, 3 o'clock here on Wildcats Radio, 1290.
From the AutoNation Honda and BMW of Tucson Traffic Center, this is Wildcats Radio 1290 traffic and weather together. With a collision reported Bilby near Nogales Highway. On Bilby to the east of Nogales Highway, and also starting Monday at midnight, Columbus Boulevard south of Grant Road will close for months. 80 the low, 105 this weekend, and 104 now. I'm Cricket with your Wildcats Radio 1290 traffic and weather together.
This report is sponsored by Taco Bell. Crispy chicken's better in a Taco Bell taco or burrito or both. Try Taco Bell's new Crispy Chicken Taco and or burrito today at participating Taco Bell stores for a limited time only while supplies last. Contact store for availability.
Your home for U of A football.
Nobody will catch him. Touchdown, Arizona.
Men's basketball.
Midcourt. Shot is up. Good.
And baseball.
Here comes the winning run. And the Cats have won it.
Wildcats Radio 1290.
ZipRecruiter is the place. ZipRecruiter is the place for talented teachers, savvy software developers, and master mixologists. ZipRecruiter is the place where you meet all these people and more. That's because ZipRecruiter is the place for job seekers who are looking for new opportunities. In fact, ZipRecruiter helps 10 million people with their job search every day, so you can find the right candidates right away. Try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
Some things can steal your sunshine. Ugh, I just got my hair done.
Sorry, the cooler's broken. Anyone see my flip-flops? Anyone?
But COVID-19 can steal a lot more.
I just took a COVID test. Ugh.
Prescription medications for COVID exist. If you test positive this summer, ask your doctor if they're right for you. Visit PfizerForAll.com/COVID-19 to learn more. Sponsored by Pfizer.
So hot. I can help you.
Good afternoon. We're with Goodfellas AC Rapid Response Team.
But I didn't call yet.
That's how fast we are, man.
Just as I thought, this AC is out.
No, we're not gonna lose it. Come on. Come on. Don't you die on me.
Johnson, get a hold of yourself. Sorry, we take this very seriously.
Wow, you fellas are good.
It's not just a name, ma'am.
It's who we are kind of thing.
Good service, good prices, Goodfellas. GoodfellasAC.com.
All right, she's inside. Are you good?
Yeah. It's just, she's my baby girl, you know?
I do, and ceramic coating was a good choice.
Oh, she's beautiful.
Yep, I know.
Recon Auto Detailing. Enhance or restore your baby to her former glory with paint recondition, ceramic coating, paint protection, tinting, and more for full protection of your vehicle inside and out. New cars, old cars, we love them all. Recon Auto Detailing, 3829 North Oracle Road, Tucson. ReconDetail.com.
It may only be summer, but Arizona football can't get here soon enough.
Lozano got a hole inside the 40, jumps to the left of the 30, down to the 25 to the 20, still going.
Catch Kedrick Ricino and the Cats all season long right here on Wildcats Radio 1290.
Wesley Financial Group is not a law firm, and Chuck McDowell definitely not an attorney. This is Chuck. If someone talked you into buying something really silly and you want to get out of that silly little thing, my advice, get the facts. Call me and I'll send you our timeshare exit kit absolutely free. Inside, you'll learn how timeshare works and all your options for cancellation.
Call Wesley now for your free timeshare exit information kit. 800-761-0000. That's 800-761-0000.
Paid for by Wesley Financial Group.
My heat and air were in a state of disrepair.
It's July and we're celebrating Independence Day all month. Picture Rocks Cooling, Heating, and Plumbing wants to buy your old air conditioning unit. For the month of July, we will buy back your old AC unit for $1,776 with the purchase and installation of a new air conditioning system. Picture Rocks Cooling, Heating, and Plumbing, keeping you cool all summer long. Call us at 520-492-0748 or picturerockschooling.com.
Picture Rocks Cooling, Heating, and Plumbing.
Did you miss the big game?
They need a 3 to get to overtime.
You know we got you covered.
Midcourt, shot is up. Good! Love has hit a 3. We're going to overtime.
Trying to keep it close, and you never give up. I guess that's life in the Big 12.
Wildcats Radio 1290.
KCUB Tucson, a Cumulus media station. We talk Diamondbacks baseball daily.
Overall, inside of our culture, it's built on love, trust, commitment, and effort. And I think love is the glue to all of it.
Love, trust, commitment, and effort. We are Wildcats Radio 1290.